lovely to see a moment ago one of the North Macedonian mascots reaching over, in front of the England players, reaching over to give Bukayo Saka a high five. He's not just England's most popular player, he's popular around the globe, Bukayo Saka. Talksport live from Skopje, where yet another stress-free qualification for a major tournament comes to a close. The pitch here is apparently a problem, but come on now. This should be straightforward for England. After all, we did beat them 7-0 at Wembley in June. Even Calvin Phillips scored. It's the last competitive match of the year, the last one before the Euros next summer. Let's make it a good one. Live on Talksport, it's North Macedonia against England with former Three Lions captain Stuart Pearce, alongside your England commentator on Talksport, Jim Proudfoot.
Thank you, Adrian. Welcome to Skopje, where a campaign that began in Naples 8 months ago finishes in the Balkans on the banks of the River Vardar. And after victory in that very first game, all roads have led to Germany. Qualification assured again, after a campaign that hasn't quite been blemish-free, but which has been a steady procession towards the goal. In the final week to see some of Europe still frantically scrambling to book their place, England can rest some players and blood others. No jeopardy here, in stark contrast to that in Leverkusen tonight and Cardiff tomorrow. 1 point will ensure a place amongst the top seeds in the draw for the Euros. It's essential that's achieved. In reality, though, even a one-goal defeat here would only see England fail if either Turkey or Denmark racked up double figures. It is job done. But Gareth Southgate was very honest in his assessment of Friday's win over Malta. England aren't where they need to be. So, Stuart Pearce, the most important aspect of tonight is a step towards getting there.
It certainly is. I think a victory, yes, but some good performances. I come away from Friday night and was impressed with Cole Palmer when he come on, impressed with Trent Alexander and Foden. I want to be impressed with 7 or 8 players tonight in a good team performance with some glittering individual performances if possible.
These are the teams: North Macedonia, Dimitrievski in goal, Manad, Serefimov and Musliu. The back three: Dimoski, Alimi, Atanosov and Alioski. And then Bardi in support of split strikers, Miovski and Elmas. For England, it's Pickford, Walker, Maguire, Gurhey and Lewis, Alexander-Arnold and Rice, Saka, Foden and Grealish, and Watkins. Referee tonight, Filip Glover from Slovakia. England in white shirts, dark blue shorts, white socks, will kick from left to right. They're defending the end of the ground that houses the England support. Well, this final qualifier isn't a night of jeopardy, but one of debuts and experimentation of surveying options. England will be in Germany. Tonight a chance for a few on the fringes to start playing their way onto the play. Early touch for England's 11th captain under Gareth Southgate, Kyle Walker. Play to Harry Maguire, then to Gurhey, who's started on the left of the two centre-halves again, and Declan Rice now has it in the midfield. And a first touch in an England shirt for Rico Lewis, a day short of his 19th birthday and the youngest player ever to make his England debut in a qualifier for a major tournament. 20th youngest England international of all time. Here's Maguire. Down towards Gurhey again. Ford past Rico Lewis this time into the feet of his club teammate Jack Grealish, and Lewis was put under immediate pressure but was pushed from behind. Free kick to England, 10 yards inside their own half.
Yes, evening, Jim. Just looking at we've got a fantastic vantage point from where we are, way up high. Just looking at the Macedonian lineup, it's basically a 5-2-1-2 scenario. England, once again, it will probably have to go outside it, so work the ball into the wide areas to draw the two deep line midfield players out of position, then find the space in behind them.
And the ball has been given away in the midfield and seized upon by Bardi, wearing 10. He's swung it, the captain, out towards the far touchline, but just went over the touchline before Dimoski could keep it in play. Bardi will play ostensibly as a number 10, almost as a false 9. It's when they've got possession, might be a front 3, but he will push forward and try and play through the middle of the two split strikers. Miovski, the Aberdeen man, to his right hand side, and Elmas, who won the Serie A title with Napoli last season, to his left. England have possession again. They're inside their own half. It's Harry Maguire that has it. North Macedonia, 8 defeats in 13. They've taken 7 points in this qualification campaign. They're beaten home and away by Ukraine. They took a point from Italy. Beat Malta twice. Here's Declan Rice. pushing forward towards the edge of the penalty area. He's done well to lay it off towards the left-hand side. Grealish gets a return ball. It's swung in towards the near post, and Watkins trying to make a run across that near post. Couldn't quite get the purchase on a shot, which deflects away for an early England corner.
I think if there's any takeaway from Friday night for Gareth and his coaching staff, is get the England team on the front foot early on, and that's exactly what we've done just then. Move the ball quickly, get turned, play forward. Some great interchange there by the England players. Well done, Jack Grealish.
2.5 minutes gone here on Talksport in Skopje. And it is 0-0. Those are the thoughts of the former England captain Stuart Pearce. England have got 3 inside the 6-yard box for this corner. Grealish stands inside the penalty area as well, makes a run in towards the near post. It's in towards that near post area where Rice looked for a flick, and then it dropped Lewis's way on the edge of the box, but on his left foot, his weaker foot, he's skied it onto the running track behind the goal, out of play for a goal kick that will be taken by Dimitrievski for North Macedonia. England, remember, have already won the group, the other game in the group tonight. Ukraine against Italy in Leverkusen. Italy need to avoid defeat in that. They will also qualify automatically and avoid the playoffs. It was North Macedonia that embarrassed them in the playoffs recently, eliminating Italy with a win in Palermo before losing to Portugal and then failing to make it through to the World Cup. Ball is on the Macedonian left-hand side with Elmas, regarded as the most talented player in their team. Back it comes now for Bardi, who's got Alioski, the former Leeds United man, not bleached blonde these days. He's making a run to his left-hand side. It's worked back the other way through the midfield for Alimi. Miovski plays it back for Atanasov, who came off the bench and got a couple of goals against Italy the other night in Rome. Declan Rice able to pick it up though for England, and he will play it out towards the left, where Grealish is immediately put under pressure and fouled, and it's a free kick that England will take by the touchline midway inside their own half. All gone 0-0 everywhere around the continent tonight in the 7 games.
Yeah, just looking at the bounce of the ball there when it went up in the air, and it'll be essential that the players get to the bounce of the ball and take the sting out of the ball and bring it down as quickly as possible, certainly in our back area.
Lewis has looked assured in these early exchanges. Kyle Walker, one of the 3 other Manchester City players in the starting lineup, has possession now. So 4 City players in the 11. Remember, they're in action against Liverpool, first against second at the weekend, and we've got the game live for you on Talksport. Game Day Live starting 11 o'clock. Game Day exclusive, the game itself. The top 2 in the Premier League meeting Saturday lunchtime at 12:30. You can't hear it anywhere else on national radio. Slight lack of concentration perhaps from Rice as the ball was played to the left. It just ran under his right foot. Goes out of play for a throw that is taken by Dimoski for the Macedonians over on the far touchline, still inside their own half. Miovski's going to chase a ball that's played forward. Pickford saw it coming, just comes outside the penalty area, safety first, chips it out of play onto the running track on the far side in front of the Macedonian support, and out for a throw that the hosts will take 15 yards inside England territory. Still 0-0 with 5.5 gone here on Talksport, and a Macedonian throw in the face of England pressure very swiftly becomes an England throw that Lewis will come forward to take.
Yeah, just looking at Lewis's position there, he's been encouraged coming off that left back perch in the build up, just tucking in a little bit, just playing on the edge of their midfield out wide, and his interaction with Grealish will be essential.
And he's done well to come back here and stop Dimoski making ground down the right hand side as he threatened to break. Lewis just got in front of him very calmly, made sure that Dimoski had no room to get outside him down the touchline. And it's out for another throw that will be taken over on the England left. England who've scored 41 goals in their last 15 games, and after only 1 penalty in the previous 5 matches. They've scored now in each of the last 32 qualifying games. They've got such a good record in qualifying for this tournament, where they've won all but 2 of the last 25. The one failure in this group coming on Polish soil in the away fixture, nominal away fixture against Ukraine. Foden just linking up with Saka. Saka with a nutmeg of Alioski, who's unlucky that he couldn't keep the ball in before it just rolled over the touchline. Out of play for a throw that will be taken on the Macedonian left by Gianni Alioski, who made more than 170 appearances for Leeds United, playing his club football out in Saudi Arabia. North Macedonia take the throw, they waste possession. They're struggling to string 2 or 3 passes together at the moment, and England are going to be quite content with a solid, slightly unspectacular opening 7 minutes here at 0-0.
Yeah, we've had that early forage into the last third, the interchange between Rice and Grealish that was very good. I want us to keep us playing forward if we possibly can. Be careful playing into a tight area around the centre circle, because then playing that 2-1-2 midfield scenario, it means the space is on the outside, like it was on Friday night. But on occasion when we give the ball away, Jim, it was trying to force it through the middle area.
Maguire with a header, and it's returned by the midfielder Atanasov. A little left-footed hitch kick volley forward, but Pickford can come out and pick it up on the edge of the penalty area. Miovski stuck his right thumb up to applaud the intent of the ball that was driven forward there by Atanasov. Walker's going to be able to bring it forward for England, and he'll be able to lay it back to Harry Maguire, coming forward from the edge of his own penalty area and venturing towards the edge of the centre circle here. No pressure on him. They're not a side that will press from the front necessarily, North Macedonia. That means that Maguire can easily knock it between the lines here for Foden. Foden linking up with Walker, and then it goes back for Maguire again. Maguire towards halfway, into space. Foden able to pick it up. He'll drive now. The Macedonian back line and the red shirts back off. Saka's got it right hand side of the penalty area. Comes back out towards the corner of the box. Lays it off for Walker in his yellow boots. Back down for Saka again. He's got black gloves on tonight. Protect himself on a night that is pretty Baltic in the Balkans. Foden's got it again. 15 yards outside the penalty area. England just making the Macedonians shuffle back, and it's a very regimented defensive line of 5 that they've got to try and breach here. Something they struggled against Malta the other night. Didn't have a shot on target for best part of an hour, remember. Walker sending a high ball in here towards the far post. Grealish will pick it up at that far post, left-hand side of the penalty area. Jinks back inside the box, plays it back towards Saka. It's half cleared, but Rice will take over now down by the corner flag. Lays it back for Lewis, who read his intentions. He will bring it forward, a little darting run. Plays the ball now to Grealish, to Rice. Back again through the midfield. England stringing the passes together and forcing the Macedonians back. Concertina up now towards the edge of their own box. We're 9.5 minutes in. Still 0-0 here, 0-0 in all of the qualifiers taking place tonight at the moment. Ball forward over the top, Walker chasing it, and it's half clear. Saka now for England. Saka's 15 outside the penalty area. When he picks it up, he goes back for Maguire, and it's already obvious, Stu, that this is going to be an exercise in patience and penetration as far as England are concerned this evening.
Yeah, it will be, Jim, and the important thing for England is they make sure they keep making darting runs behind the back line, and that's down to Watkins a little bit, to pull that back 5 back a little bit if they possibly can. That will create the space for Foden to get into little pockets of space.
There's just a little coming together there off the ball between Grealish and Alimi. Both hurt, but Grealish has come off the worst of the two, I think, as the ball was played into his feet. Just now hopping back onto his feet. Number 11 visible in red on the back of his white shirt, and he's having a right moan at referee Filip Glova, part of the Slovakian officiating team tonight, and he's just pointing at where he got caught on his leg. He's motioning that he felt that Alimi deliberately raked his leg with his studs. The referee said play on. Initially, the ball got put out of play so that Grealish could receive some treatment. And the Macedonians give possession back from the throw to England, but make them go back inside their own half for it. So we're 11 minutes in, it's 0-0. Chances, like they were in the early stages the other night, certainly from an England perspective, very limited, but England haven't had the shaky start that they did against Malta, who by this stage of the game had already had a couple of very presentable chances. Declan Rice has got it again. Forth from Rice for Walker. Back again for Maguire. Maguire just slowing things down, trotting forward, out to the left-hand side for Gurhey. Gurhey to Lewis, back for Gurhey again. Walker coming into a more central position. He's inside the centre circle as he receives possession, then goes back for Maguire. Down he comes to the England right-hand side this time. Trent Alexander-Arnold hasn't seen an awful lot of it in the early stages, but he just pops the ball off here to Saka. Alioski forces it away from Saka. The two are then indulging in a little bit of conversation once the ball had gone. Gurhey Back for Maguire. And Maguire will play it forward again. Jordan Pickford down on his haunches on the edge of the D in his own penalty area, looking and surveying what is going on ahead of him, and now stands back up and he's motioning with his hands, trying to get a message across, I think, to the England outfield 10 ahead of him. I don't know what he's seen. Maguire has it again on what at the moment it's been a keep ball exercise for England, just stringing the passes together. Possession must be in around the low 80s, I would imagine, in these early stages, but England at the moment not really going anywhere with it.
No. Now we're cooking.
Ball in towards Watkins' feet inside the penalty area, down towards Saka. Saka coming back outside the box, getting it onto his left foot. Walker is free. Saka trying a shot, curling effort with his left foot that was blocked. England pick up the pieces. The loose ball won back by Foden. He goes back for Maguire. Maguire to Gurhey, and Gurhey will send it forward towards Rico Lewis, who will turn out, having picked up possession, and work it out towards the left-hand side for Grealish. Grealish brings it back in field. It is 78-22 actually, the possession in England's favour at the moment. They've had 2 attempts, although neither have been on target. And nothing from the Macedonians at the other end.
That's the first time that ball by Gahey in behind the Macedonian backline for peeling off Watkins, who spun in behind, and that's what we got to do. It's that type of ball. We've got to mix our game up slightly. By all means, pass it around, but it's got to go behind the opposition on occasion as well.
Oh, Lewis has done really well, linking up with Foden inside the box. Grealish will take over. The Manchester City contingent to the fore here. Back towards Rice on the edge of the penalty area. Rice hits the post. Right-footed effort from 25 yards, and he cannon back up the face of the right-hand post with Dimitrievski beaten, and Macedonia clear their lines.
Fantastic strike there. Just come out to Rice on the edge of the box straight away. As soon as he got on it, there was space in front of him. He's cannoned it. He's bounced a couple of times off the post and back out. And this is what we need from England. Don't get into a scenario where it's very slow in the build-up. I think that will suit Macedonia. On occasion, when we up the tempo, we look dangerous.
First goal of the night has come in Group E. The Czech Republic qualify tonight if they avoid defeat at home to Moldova. The Moldovans qualify if they win that game. But the Czechs have scored first. Czech Republic 1, Moldova 0. So it looks as though they will be going through. England swinging the ball inside the box. Watkins heads it down, peeled away towards the far post and headed it down towards the far post, back where it had come from. But it was just an innocuous effort that dribbled out towards that side of the 6-yard box, and Dimitrievski could make a comfortable stop. But better from England in the last couple of minutes, although it remains 0-0.
Yeah, it certainly was. A wonderful ball there by Foden. He's just whipped it in first time, and Watkins was backing off, so he couldn't get any pace and power on the header, and certainly not direction either. But good movement by Watkins.
Ollie Watkins has scored in his last 2 appearances for England. Scored in both of his starts for his country so far. One against the Ivorians, the other against Australia. Had a long spell out of the England side as well within the 8 caps that he has won for his country before tonight. And the Devonian chasing here and putting the pressure on Dimitrievski. He plays it out towards the right back. Dimoski knocking it forward. The offside flag is up. Dimitrievski caught offside. That's a free kick that England will take. The positioning of Rico Lewis has been really interesting. It's not an orthodox full-back position that he's taking up at all. It's not quite as full-on into central midfield as you would see him do for Manchester City. It's kind of a hybrid between the two, as England win a free kick here for Saka being brought down. But it has been very interesting to see the positions that he's been able to take up, because there's no other England full-back that will play the role in the same way that Rico has in the opening 15 minutes here.
And he seems such a natural to it, doesn't he? He drifts into there, does extremely well, and just in the melee we've just seen, I think his Elmas has just been booked for dissent.
Yep, first yellow card of the night. Shown to Elif Elmas, the Napoli player who scored a famous winner away to Germany a couple of years ago. And he is in the book. First player booked tonight. So England have a free kick, which will be taken level with the right-hand edge of the box, and it's midway between the box and the halfway line. Macedonia have got everybody bar Bardi, the captain, back on the edge of their own penalty area. That's a pretty conservative 10 yards, I would suggest, that the referee has put the spray down. Vardy stands on that line of spray. Lewis will make his way forward now into space, about 20 yards out. Ball is clipped inside the penalty area by Alexander-Arnold, but the offside flag is up as it came in towards Maguire. He was claiming that he was shoved to the ground, but he was offside, and it's a free kick to Macedonia.
Yeah, we've not got a lot of height in our team. I'm looking at potential targets for the ball going into the box. Watkins definitely one of them, Maguire another, and probably Declan Rice. Aside from that, there's not a lot of stature in the team.
Domestic football that returns to the Talksport network on Friday. A really good game of the Championship, Yorkshire Derby between South Yorkshire's Rotherham United, West Yorkshire's Leeds United. Third bottom against third top in the Championship. Leeds can move to within 5 points at the top of the table if they win that, and it's live. Talksport 2 Friday night. Boots and whistles from the Macedonian supporters as a throw is given England's way, which Walker is going to take. Just a step onto the green from the light blue running track that runs all the way around the pitch here at the Tosi Proeski Arena in Skopje, which is probably about 2/3 full tonight, I guess, something like that, a crowd of around 24,000-25,000 in. England selling out their allocation of 2,500 and almost as many. St George's crosses flags away to our left-hand side as there are supporters seemingly. Here's Gurhey bringing the ball down and playing it out towards Maguire. It's a cold, clear night. The temperature's down around 1 or 2 degrees Celsius. The moon visible overhead, and the 217-foot tall cross on the hill visible, just hanging over the curved roof of the stadium over on the far side. England make their way forward and win another free kick as Walker is brought down. It has been quite stop-start, quite fragmented in the opening 19 minutes, where England have laid a solid foundation. They've been completely untroubled so far. Not dissimilar to the way that the game panned out at Old Trafford back in June, where it was 0-0, 29 minutes gone, and England won by 7. Given the ball away there, though. Declan Rice is chipping it down towards Saka and missing him. And it's out for a throw that will be taken on the North Macedonian left-hand side. Goals. Yeah,
if there's anything I would say about our play, Jim, I would say that probably certainly from the other night, and maybe a little bit tonight, we respect the opposition a little bit more than they deserve to respect as such. I think we should go after them a little bit more early on in the game and put them on the back foot. We've got the ability to do so, there is no doubt, but we sort of play our way into the game. I don't think sometimes with the ability we have in our side, we no need to play into the game by being safe and getting a feel of it. Let's go after the opposition.
England have scored 21 in the 7 qualifiers in this group. 7 of them coming the last time these two sides met. And that's 7 of the 19 that the North Macedonians have conceded. They're ranked just outside the top 60 in the world in either the FIFA list or the ELO rankings, depending which one you like. Pretty similar. England at the moment 4th in the FIFA list and 5th in the ELO ratings. Southgate saying this week that it is a vowed intention to get England to the top of those lists. Free kick will be taken by Kyle Walker on the England right-hand side. 5 yards inside the North Macedonian half. Ball play back for Maguire. And Maguire goes square to his left-hand side for Mark Gurhey. Gurhey controlling it, taking it on a step, going back for Maguire, who's winning 62nd cap for England tonight. And play forward by Gurhey, out towards the left-hand side for Grealish again. And Lewis once more in a position at inside left. It was the obvious pass for Grealish, but he got caught by Dimoski before he had the opportunity to try and play the pass. Free kick taken, and now Grealish will get it and he will run forward. Just got caught having dispensed the ball towards Lewis. Play goes on. Rice linking up. Couldn't get the return ball from Foden because he would have been offside. Cross comes in from the England left, and he's done very well there, Phil Foden, to win a corner.
Yeah, it's almost games like this. It should almost turn into a training ground exercise where you put a stipulation on the England players. If there's no one in front of you, you've got to play forward, and that, I think, would get us on the front foot a touch more, and I think we're very good, and then all of a sudden we lift the intensity and we go past players as though they're not there, and you think, do that more often, gents.
England's second corner, left-footed in-swinging delivery, which is easily cleared by Alioski, and then Walker will sweep it all the way back towards Jordan Pickford. Pickford receiving it, then fires a long one over the top for Ollie Watkins, who was onside. He's controlled it. 3 red shirts come towards him. He's laid it off here for Saka. Saka 10 yards outside the box. Turned away, then dropped his left shoulder and came back the other way towards the right-hand side of the penalty area. In swinging delivery from him. Potentially dangerous, looking for Grealish, but knocked away by Manev at the back. And then Maguire will go all the way back to his goalkeeper, Jordan Pickford again. So the Czechs leading Moldova in a crucial game by a goal to nil. Other than that, 0-0 everywhere, including the game in Leverkusen between Ukraine and Italy. Now given away by Maguire. It's a mistake as he's trying to play the ball out, and he's found the nearest Macedonian player. And then Elmas is pushed to the ground inside the penalty area, and the referee says, get up, goal kick. Now the contact was minimal, but I believe was there. It looked as though it was the palm of Maguire's hand in the back of Elmas, who certainly made sure the referee realised that there had been contact. But he did look on first inspection as though Maguire just gave him a little shove.
I've got to say, I would probably, on my first viewing of that, I would have probably given a penalty. Maguire's gives the ball away, then there was slight panic when he's come to front up Elmas in the box. He's lost his own footing and just collapsed to his knees and pushed him to the ground. And I think we're fortunate to have got away with that one.
Well, Harry Maguire committing 2 mistakes, you could argue. Nearly punished for the first one, and not punished for the second one, that the referee didn't believe was significant contact, and possibly not enough for the VAR, Mikel Oceanas, to overthrow the decision. But it did look on first inspection as though it was a penalty. I was expecting him to point to the spot. England might have got away with it. Ball play forward here. Alioski heads it away. And then Walker will try and pick up a ball that is played forward. But he can't, and Elmas will win it. And Elmas knocks it forward down the left-hand touchline. An opportunity here for Musliu to come forward from centre-half. Walker's given him a shove. Didn't appear to be an awful lot more in that than there was in the penalty area, but he's given that the referee. And it's a free kick that'll be taken by the North Macedonians about 8 yards from the corner flag. 0-0.
Yeah, Walker guilty there of not getting his positional play right, relying on his pace. So he's marking just slightly the wrong side. He should be a yard further back, protecting his goal. Basically, if you drew a line between the ball and the goal post, he would be in the middle of it. He wasn't, and he paid the penalty for it.
So a free kick to the Macedonians. This is their first set piece. Rico Lewis stands as a one-man wall just outside the left-hand edge of the penalty area. It's going to be a right-footed in-swinging delivery here. First test, really, for Jordan Pickford and the England back line. Plenty of movement from the red shirts inside the box. Not the best delivery to try and find any that actually came in behind Atanasov and goes out of play for a goal kick, having not taken any contact from anybody on the way through. Atanasov scored a really good goal the other night against Italy, where he made a deep run, timed it to perfection, got in behind the Italian back line and powered a header in, trying to do something similar there, but didn't get the delivery. He was in behind him and England survived it.
Yeah, we've got to be careful we don't give too many free kicks away, certainly in these wide areas and corners, because we do suffer from a real lack of height within our group.
There is Maguire. So we'll still be beaten pretty quickly, I would imagine, after the poor ball out from the back that caused the problems in the first place before we thought he might have given a penalty away. It is 0-0. 26 gone. You're listening to North Macedonia against England. It's live on Talksport. Coming up after us, Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy taking your calls on the sports bar from 10. Your reaction interspersed with that from the England camp. England correspondent Faye Carruthers will be speaking to Gareth Southgate, the headline makers as well. You'll hear it all, and your reaction as well. 03717223344 is the number, and you can have your say on national radio tonight here on Talksport. With Maguire in possession for England, it's 0-0 with 26 gone.
Yeah, a little bit slow on the build-up for me, Jim. That's the problem with England at present. Very slow, moving it methodically from side to side. We need to move it a little bit quicker and then be forthright in going through the lines of the Macedonian press.
Rice has got it. In terms of the maths of this group, as things stand at the moment, England will get the point they need to guarantee that they will be top seeds. They need to have one of the 5 best records of the group winners, one of the 5 best of the 10 group winners, but they only need a point for that. And the reality is, even if they were to lose this, their goal difference is such they'll still be okay. But at the moment, Italy are going through from this group with them. Grealish just trying to get the ball away from Dymowski, but Dymowski stumbled, played it back inside his own penalty area where Watkins read it. He can feed Lewis, goes out towards the left-hand side of the box now for Rice. Grealish again, Foden pulling away. Back he goes towards the edge of the area for Alexander-Arnold. No foul on him. As he went down, the referee said he tripped over the ball. Play goes on. Forward towards Miofsky, the Aberdeen man, who's had a good start of the season, already in double figures for the Dons in all competitions, but he's had precious little to work on so far tonight. And England have got it back at the back again with Harry Maguire. 0-0.
We've played 4 balls over the top from distance and caused them a problem each time. You can see the panic in them. As soon as they're isolated one-on-one or someone's got beyond them, there is an air of panic.
Lewis, Gurhey coming to meet it, and then Kyle Walker's touch wasn't the best. Maguire ends up with a diving header to get it away as it was played back to him by a panic-stricken Kyle Walker for a moment. England did well to survive that and play their way out because they tied themselves up in knots. Now Grealish at the other end, fires it inside the area, over the head of Watkins, and Saka will just keep it in on the England right.
As we've just seen there, Grealish has got the beating of his wing-back every time. He just doesn't choose to do it all the time, and if you go past your man once, keep doing it, make him sick of you.
Ball inside the penalty area now is just past the stretch of Ollie Watkins, trying to get there ahead of Dimitrievski to poke it goal bound, couldn't get the touch he needed, and he goes through for the North Macedonian goalkeeper, veteran of more than 100 games in the Spanish top flight. He's at Rayo Vallecano at the moment, never present in La Liga this season, Stola Dimitrievski. Clears it right-footed from the edge of his own penalty area. Half an hour gone, as near as makes no difference. 0-0. Chances at a premium. England have hit the post through Declan Rice, and we felt, without having seen a replay, that Harry Maguire was lucky not to have given a penalty away. Foden's ball, back past Rice. Lewis, who's done very well so far on this, his England debut.
For a young man, I mean, he's just taken his club form straight into international fold at the moment.
Alexander-Arnold, the shot from the edge of the penalty area, which is knocked away. Comes down towards Walker. Walker to Saka again. Saka on the right-hand side of the penalty area, trying to twist and turn and get his way past Alioski. And he did really well to stick to his task. The former Leeds man can get it away for the Macedonians, and Tarnasov plays it back to him. Down towards the left-hand side of the penalty area for Elmas. Alioski down by his own corner flag, this time put under pressure by Watkins, and then in the end it was a hasty ball out from Musliu, but a safe one, finding Dymowski, and he will be able to take it forward down the right-hand side. Lewis shows it inside, and England again forced the error and win a throw. Going back to what you were saying about Lewis, though, it bears repeating. A young man, doesn't turn 19 till tomorrow, 33 senior games in his career, 19 senior league games. He's played 6 Champions League ties, 8 domestic cup ties for Manchester City. And yes, he's playing at a club that has won so much even in his short time in the first team squad. But it's an immensely mature performance that we've seen from him so far, and I think it bears repeating, Stuart, that he's offering England something different from the orthodox fullback that England tend to play on that side.
It certainly has. He's not only a fullback, he's a midfield player, and he goes beyond the strikers, as he's shown as well. So he's supplementing, he's making that overload in midfield, which is fantastic. And once again, Grealish has gone past his man, basically very, very easily. And if that is the case in any game, you just keep supplying players that have got the beating of their man.
Walker just feigning to play the ball forward, and then did so about a second later to Bukayo Saka. And Saka will take it on down towards the corner flag, taking on Alioski. Can get the cross in. Watkins trying to help it on, but he just couldn't feed it back towards Jack Grealish. Is it too isolated a figure, Ollie, when he's inside the penalty area for you at the moment, in the moments like that?
Yes, he is, to be honest with you. The opposite wide player on that occasion, Grealish, has to get in probably level with the back post. The guidance I always give players, the opposite wide players, stand in a position where you think you can score with a header, and that gives you a guidance of how far out you are or how far you should be in.
Lewis laying it back for Rice. That's Stuart Pearce, the former England captain, with us here on Talksport. Trent Alexander-Arnold worked forward towards Rico Lewis, and he was caught from behind. It was a poor challenge by Atanasov. Not so bad, he's going to get a yellow card, but it's a free kick to England in a central area, 15 yards outside the penalty area. Lewis hops back to his feet.
I don't think I've seen so many fouls in a game so far. We're about half hour in, just over, and the amount of niggly fouls by Macedonian players has been quite incredible.
Yeah, this is the 9th free kick that England have had so far. They've given away 3. 12 minutes to go to half-time. Declan Rice has hit the post, but other than that, very little in the way of constructive goal-mouth opportunity at either side. Pickford hasn't had a save to make as yet, to shot either on or off target. England have had 6, but they've all been off target. Now, what will they be able to muster from this free kick, which is too straight, really, to be ideal? Foden takes it, finds Rice, nutmegs the referee as he does so. Foden gets it back and just tries to play it forward towards Watkins. And coming back is Harry Maguire, who made his way forward towards the edge of the penalty area in case the ball was flighted in, and England end up in the next phase of play winning another corner with Grealish.
Yeah, once again, for me, England's left-hand side with Grealish, with Lewis, with Rice and Foden supplementing that is probably the area I think we look more dangerous. On this side, I think Saka's found it semi-difficult and being isolated that little bit more.
Saka just made a darting run to attack this corner inside the 6-yard box. He wasn't quite played quickly enough. Rice was the target at the near post and it was knocked away. Back out towards the corner taker, Foden. Grealish playing it back towards Foden. Rice actually intercepted that ball, but he couldn't make any headway towards the edge of the penalty area. The Macedonians will try and bring it away. Maguire is still forward. There's a free kick given away either by Maguire or Saka, and it's a free kick that the Macedonians will take on a night where goals right across the continent have been very few and far between, just the one at the moment, which will be enough for the Czechs to qualify at the expense of Moldova. Everything else, the other 6 games tonight, all 0-0. And that means that Slovenia will be going through, that Italy will be going through, and the Czechs will be going through. It's the state of play at the moment. 10 minutes to go to half-time in the various games around the continent. And this stalemate here in Skopje means that England will be one of the top seeds for the draw. Ball back on the England left-hand side with Grealish. Oh, what a good run from Phil Foden, and Grealish has done well to find him. Foden will pick it up, just stopped it going out of play for a corner. Despite Macedonia, for a goal kick, I beg your pardon. Despite Macedonian appeals. It's played back for Grealish again. Grealish trying to take on the right wing-back Dimoski. Lewis, now back for Maguire. Maguire inside the centre circle goes the only outfield England player deeper than him, which is Mark Gurhey. Now Rice will play it forward again for Foden. Foden looks up and he sees 3 towards the edge of the box. Back he goes instead for Maguire. England still, through necessity, having to be patient. Watkins had dropped deeper to give him more of an opportunity to have a run in behind the back line there, but the pass wasn't played. Now he's got it though, but in getting it and actually forced a good save from the goalkeeper, the whistle had already gone. And he's being told here, Ollie Watkins, that the whistle had gone and that he played on, and that he's lucky not to get a yellow card. And the referee's given him the benefit of the doubt that Watkins didn't hear the whistle, but he's the guilty party. He was judged to have given Serafimov, the centre-half, a little shove on the edge of the penalty area before he took it on and got the right-footed shot away. 0-0 here in Skopje. Dimitrievski. Play forward towards Musliu. Left-footed ball just chipped over the top. It's a straight one for Miovski. He's done well to turn it forward. Elmas will try and give him the return ball. He's going to chase after it. All good bounce for Lewis. And this very hard playing surface. It does sit up very high. Lewis got in the way fairly, and Miovski ends up on the deck. And Lewis, who's just about the shortest man on the pitch. Miovski much taller. Miovski still down, stricken inside the penalty area. Play goes on. Bardi clipped down towards Elmas and behind him, and it goes out of play for a throw that will be taken by England. The play will stop, and the referee, I think, has assumed that Miovski's okay and will be getting back to his feet in a moment. He's certainly showing no indication of letting the Macedonian medical staff go on to pick him up. Lewis goes across and gives him a handshake, but I don't think Lewis did an awful lot wrong there, Stuart.
No, he didn't, and it was that bounce of the ball that we've spoke about during the course of the game. Just bounced up high. It's horrible for defenders. It won't come down. You can't put a foot on it, and it made it very difficult for Lewis to get it back to his goalkeeper.
But the VAR is having a look at the incident, and is a potential penalty check for a foul by Lewis on Miovski, and the referee is going to come over and he's going to have a look at the monitor. So Filip Glover, the Slovakian referee, at the behest of the VAR, his compatriot Michal Osianas is coming over to have a look. Now, are they claiming it was a handball by Lewis or just a shove by Lewis that the arm is flailing and has caught Miovski in the face? I think it is that. We can't see what the VAR is looking at. There's a crane my neck to see a replay at a monitor that is about 5-6 yards away. Does look as though Lewis might have a case to answer on his way down. There's no intent there, as he's just brought his arm down as leverage, and it seems to be in a natural position. But usually when the referee gets called over to the monitor, you know what's coming next. Now he's had a look and he's making his way back onto the pitch. And is he going to give a penalty? Yes, he has. Penalty to North Macedonia for a foul by Lewis on Miovski.
I've got a feeling, Jim, that this might be an accumulation of the Maguire potential penalty shout, which obviously was looked at and by VAR, but certainly was waved away. But sometimes when you get a near shout, the next one, albeit might be 50-50, seems to edge against you.
Well, we certainly felt that the first one could easily have been given against Maguire. That seemed a more obvious one. Kyle Walker is now remonstrating with the referee. He's not going to overturn his decision, but Walker, as the England captain, is jumping up and down with his arms, and he's making the point, I think, to the ref, where is Lewis supposed to put his arms when he's jumping up for one? Where are his arms supposed to go if a striker runs into him? Nevertheless, it's given, and it will be Bardi against Pickford, with a chance for North Macedonia to take the lead 5 minutes before half-time. Now, the last England goalkeeper to save a penalty in a match was Joe Hart from Ronaldinho 10 years ago. Can Jordan Pickford end that long way? Elmas delegating responsibility here to Bardi. Bardi waits and runs up towards the ball, right-footed. Pickford saves it. Bardi puts the follow-up away. And England trail in Skopje. Behind against the side that they put 7 past at Old Trafford back in June. Bardi's penalty, not the best. Pickford dived to his left, could only parry it down. Bardi on the follow-up puts it in. North Macedonia 1, England 0.
Yeah, when you strip it all down, Jim, it was the bounce of that ball in the box. You know, we spoke about the pitch earlier. The bounce of the ball, it really wouldn't want to come down at all. And in the end, the referees give for a flailing arm, we believe. So it's important now England regroup, start moving the ball nice and quickly, and really paying the penalty, really, for not getting after Macedonia, I think, from the first minute, where certainly the likes of Grealish has got the beating of his man.
Well, those that have seen the replay tell me that he had his eyes on the ball all the time, Rico Lewis, but his left arm was out and it just caught Miovski round the side of the face. The penalty was given and England find themselves behind in Skopje by a goal to 0. have won both of the previous away games they played in this country. David Beckham scoring the winner in 2003. Peter Crouch in 2006, the last time that the two sides met on Macedonian soil, the night that Steven Gerrard won his 50th cap. And tonight, England find themselves behind to a goal from Enis Bardi's 16th international goal and his third of this campaign. Scored against Ukraine, Italy, and now England on this ground within the campaign. So England with work to do. Lewis, who gave the penalty away, will make his way forward now, left-hand side of the penalty area. Was he caught there? Straight back up on his feet, trying to get possession back, and he's done that quite brilliantly. Now he ends up on the deck again, and he's won a free kick out by the left-hand touchline. Foden made an early darting run inside the box if Grealish spotted him to take a quick one, but positioning the referee didn't help England in that regard, and there were two Macedonian players preventing it being taken quickly anyway. So England will swing it in as they look for an instant equaliser. Yeah, well done to Lewis. As I say, the penalty's been adjudged to have been given against him, and straight away he's up, he's wanting the ball, he's herring forward, and shows a lot about his character. That very good to see. 5 in the penalty area for this free kick. Rice looking for the near post flick. Goalkeeper comes out, punches it clear. It's back in from Saka and cleared on the edge of the 6-yard box. And now North Macedonia will try and bring it away. But Walker is able to use his pace to sweep up, and the England captain has to put the afterburners on and go back inside his own half for a moment, and then turns out and wins the throw pretty comfortably. 90 seconds of the break, 1-0 to North Macedonia. Yeah, his some insurance policy, Carl Walker, and his pace. He literally had 3 players bearing down on him because of his outstanding pace. Just no hurry, no hassle, just gained a throw-in. Big goal in Group H. Slovenia, who qualify if they avoid defeat, lead Kazakhstan in Ljubljana tonight by a goal to nil. Slovenia, if they were to lose tonight, are out. They won't be in the playoffs. Kazakhstan, if they were to win that game tonight, they will qualify. If they don't win it, they will be in the playoffs, and they will take on Greece. Now it looks as though it's going to be what happens at the moment. Slovenia leading Kazakhstan by a goal to nil. So it's, as you were at the start of the night, Slovenia, the Czechs and the Italians, the sides that are going through, those places that can be sorted out tonight. England trailing here, but the bottom line is that it's by no means a disaster. If England were to lose this by 1, then the only way they wouldn't be top seeds in the draw is if Turkey win by 10 in Wales tomorrow, or Denmark win by 11 in Northern Ireland tonight. That one is 0-0 coming up to half-time, so that isn't going to happen. England on the front foot as they look for an equaliser. Rice has got it. Rice back towards Maguire. Maguire down towards Kyle Walker. Saka making a run ahead of him. Walker goes back for Maguire again. They don't tend to concede too many goals in the first halves of games. This is only the 8th that they've led in out the last 25 that's been before half-time. We're in 4 minutes of added time. Foden to Saka to Lewis. Right-footed effort from him. And diving to his left, Dimitrievski can clutch the ball into his body to make the save. It's 1-0 to North Macedonia in first half stoppage time on Talksport. Yeah, good play there. Saka just coming inside, looking to shoot himself. It got blocked up. The shooting lines got blocked. Slipped it across the face of the goal, and Lewis was there, brought it inside, unloaded a shot. Keeper made a steady save. Maguire heading the ball forward towards halfway. Then goes over Foden's head, nodded down. Walker coming to meet him. Ball under control by Elmas. Very cleverly kept possession, and then Saka has caught Alioski. And it's a free kick that will be taken by the North Macedonians on the left-hand touchline. 1-0 they lead. Remember, in this group so far, they've taken a point from Italy in a draw here. They've beaten Malta twice, lost all of the other games. And since the start of last season, they have lost here against Bulgaria, Azerbaijan in a friendly, and the Ukrainians in a qualifier. They lead England at the moment, 1-0. Here's Elmas. Away from the left-hand touchline, turns and played down towards Alioski again. Alioski and the goal scorer Bardi. Bardi making his way forward, but the pass was overhit. It should be easily defended, and It is well defended by Maguire in the end. Didn't want to play the ball, just that always motioned as though he was going to, then didn't. Lets the ball run over the line, out of play, through a goal kick as half-time approaches. England trailing.
Yeah, I think the one thing I'd like to see in the second half, and certainly I'd like to see it in the first half, I think the build from the back's been slow. I criticised it on Friday night. I think it's been slow again tonight. We've got a player in Grealish that can go past his wide player, feed him, give him the ball and play off him.
Just the one shot on target so far from England tonight, which was the Saka effort a couple of minutes ago that was blocked. That's been it. 9 attempts. Now the ball is out of Grealish. That's prescribed by Stewart, and he can make his way forward. But then Dimoski got back goal side a little bit more easily than he might have done. Alexander-Arnold has it now for England. Played between the lines for Foden. Foden controls it with his left boot. Switches it quickly with his right to Saka. Back it comes towards the edge of the area, and a right-footed effort is well saved by Dimitrievski. Alexander-Arnold's rising drive tipped over the bar and out of play for a late England corner before half-time.
Yeah, as I say, we saw slightly there. Once again, Grealish slips past his man as though he's not there. Dimitrievski's having a nightmare against him, to be honest with you, and we should keep playing on that. And then Trent Alexander, great dipping shot and a good save by the cap.
Trent will come across to take the corner. England's fourth, the first from the right, in towards the edge of the 6-yard boxes. An England player goes down, 2 England players down, both of the centre halves. And Dimitrievski has come across towards Declan Rice, is it, that's down there, and has tried to pull him up by the shirt. So Rice is down on his knees inside the penalty area, and the goalkeeper has come up from behind him and has pulled his shirt up. It is Harry Maguire, actually, that is down there. And the referee, oblivious to that, couldn't have seen what was going on because he was watching the play. The assistant referee certainly should have seen it. And the goalkeeper stands doing his best choir boy impression inside the 6-yard box, a face that pleads innocence about any part in that at all.
Yeah, but Maguire's dipped low to try and head the ball, and I think he's got something, I would suggest, a flailing foot or whatever, but I don't think there was a suggestion of a penalty.
Goalkeeper clearly felt as though he was trying to milk it for something, but he got caught. He's receiving treatment now, and now Kyle Walker is having a word with the goalkeeper. Mark Gurhey also went down within that, inside the penalty area in that same phase of play. And no suggestion that there is a case to answer from any of the Macedonians. The play's going to restart the drop ball here to England, and this has all extended the first half. Should be about another 30 seconds or so to play before half-time. We played 4.5 minutes. There was a delay of about a minute or so whilst all that was being sorted out. Maguire is back on his feet and making his way down towards the halfway line. He's going to be waved back on in a moment. In fact, there's no time. And England will leave the field at half-time here in Skopje, behind to the side ranked 66 in the world. North Macedonia could have had a penalty for what we thought was a push by Harry Maguire. That wasn't given, but a flailing arm from Rico Lewis on Miofsky did attract the attention of the VAR. The referee hadn't given a penalty. The VAR suggested that he did, but his initial effort was saved. He put the rebound away, and on a night where there's no jeopardy for England, at the moment it's a good job that's the case, because they trail by a goal to nil.
Well, VAR shambles yet again. Listen, before we get started on the penalty that was given and which has led to North Macedonia leading, let's just say the Maguire one, for all the world, looked like a penalty. He's given the ball away, making a simple pass. It's terrible for Maguire. He's then slammed into the back of Elmas, falling down like a drunken octopus. It's a penalty all day long. Nothing is given. And then you get the other one, and this one really annoys me, Stuart Pearce, and I'll tell you why it annoys me, right? VAR's a total joke here. Rico Lewis has got his eyes on the ball. There's no intention whatsoever. His opponent has gone down like he's been shot, and a penalty is given. Now, the reason the penalty is given, the VAR has basically bottled it, told the ref to have a look. He hasn't got the brains or the courage to see it's simulation, and therefore gives a penalty. Even worse, it looked to me like he was smiling as he gave the penalty, which is outrageous. Now, an 18-year-old making his England debut has to carry that on his football CV forever now. It's outrageous. It's incompetent officials, a shambles of VAR, and it's meant that Rico Lewis, on his England debut, which should be a special occasion, has got penalty conceded against his name. Jordan Pickford makes a great save, but the follow-up goes in. It's 1-0 to North Macedonia. Let me give you, Stuart, some of the reaction from ex-pros on social media about this penalty, right? Aaron Lennon, former England international, was with you in 2010 with Capello at the World Cup. What a mess VAR is. Peter Reid, former England international. Dear me, what has our game come to? Alan Shearer used a word I can't use on social media. I can't use it at this time of day on radio. Our own Darren Ambrose said, outrageous decision. Listen, we know bad decisions happen. They shouldn't with VAR. Howlers happened with VAR. Who knew that had happened? But this going against Rico Lewis, you could cry for the boy, couldn't you?
The thing, listen, you give a penalty away, it happens. You make a mistake, it happens, or deemed to have made a mistake. The one thing I like is reaction afterwards, Aid. That's the important thing for me, how he reacts to that. He's not let it bother him. His performance has been very good this first 45 minutes. I've been really delighted with that. I think the decision was a culmination of the Harry Maguire potential penalty shout, and the crowd suggested it was a penalty, that type of thing. So they've had a half penalty call beforehand, and I think that's guided the referee and the VAR to give the penalty, albeit a very, very harsh one by all accounts.
Yeah, I am fuming about it, and I feel so bad for Rico Lewis. As good and honest a young pro as you're going to get, and he's got that next to his name. VAR, an absolute disgrace for that tonight. When we talk about the performance, Stuart, I'm going to go back to something you said midway through the half, I think it was. They have to step up the intensity, and when England do it, which is all too rare, they look like they could just cut through North Macedonia easily. They're just not doing it enough. Why not?
I think the build from the back is too slow. I think too many people are taking the easy option in playing backwards. I've not seen Trent play as hardly any forward passes as I saw the other night. I thought I was impressed with him the other night. Need to see him play forward a bit more. We've got a left winger that I bemoan plays backwards all the time in Grealish, has not done that tonight. He's got his man time and time again. Keep giving him the ball if that's the case. Really important. And we've got to play the ball over the top of the opposition maybe 3 or 4 times, and it causes panic. Watkins has got into the channel on a couple of occasions, and it causes them panic to mix our game up and play a little bit quicker.
Yeah, it's not been quick enough, not been sharp enough from England. Yet again, it's the same as Friday night, and they have to put that right in the second half. Whether rightly or wrongly, they are a goal behind. A penalty saved by Pickford, the rebound slammed in, and North Macedonia lead here, and it's threatening England's unbeaten run in 2023. Let's find out what's happened in the first half in Belfast. Denise Watson.
Thanks, Adrian. It's Northern Ireland 0, Denmark 0. Michael O'Neill's inexperienced side have held their nerve against the Danes. Bolton Wanderers' Dion Charles hitting the post in 7 minutes, catching the Danes off guard. Captain Paddy McNair then floated in a cross, but Owen Toll failed to connect. The visitors started to find their form midway through the half. Celtic's Matthew O'Reilly set up Jesper Lindstrom. He got his feet muddled up, couldn't get the shot away. Victor Christensen then played in a low cross for Casper Dolberg. He was inches away from putting them ahead, and it was a frantic final 10 minutes of the half. Joachim Andersen got a touch in the corner, but Conor Hazard batted it away, and Hazard did a bit of a Pat Jennings moment moments later. He saved Andreas Christensen's effort with his feet. Such quick reactions. So at half-time at Windsor Park, it's Northern Ireland 0, Denmark 0.
Well, back here in Skopje, pre-match, Gianni Alioski and Calvin Phillips on opposite sides tonight. We're having a lengthy chat in the middle of the pitch. Former teammates, of course, at Leeds United. Then the Roll Club go to Rotherham Friday night for a championship game, live and exclusive, only on Talksport 2. It affects both ends of the table. Don't miss that. And it's a big weekend as well. The Premier League is back. Man City, Liverpool, 12:30 kickoff, live and exclusive on Talksport. Our coverage from the Etihad gets underway at 11 a.m. Talksport breakfast tomorrow, 6 a.m. Natalie Sawyer with the former England defender Neil Ruddock, and among their guests, the former Everton, Newcastle and England manager Sam Allardyce on Talksport from 6 a.m. tomorrow.
Kick-off on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. We play together. Terms and conditions apply. 18+, begambleaware.org.
Pandora's Black Friday promotion is now on, with exclusive early access for My Pandora members. Save up to 30% on charms and jewellery and make this Christmas unforgettable. Sign up to My Pandora today to start shopping. Ends 27th of November. Available in participating stores and online at pandora.net while stocks last. Terms and exclusions apply.
Good evening, night workers. This is the last train home, calling us a job well done and ready for bed via 6 McNuggets or a warm apple pie. Our final destination, as always, is home. Plenty of McDonald's restaurants are open late tonight. See mcdonalds.com for opening times.
Kick-off on Talksport with Ladbrokes. We play together. Terms and conditions apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Righty here for Gillette. Have I got something for you? The Gillette Labs razor has a unique exfoliating bar that clears the path before the blades for effortless shaving in one stroke, leaving you fresh and ready to take on your day in no time. And at Gillette, we promise you that Gillette Labs is the ultimate shave, or, I've always wanted to say this, your money back. Gillette, the best a man can get. 18 plus, retain receipt, terms and conditions apply.
Today this could be. At Go Outdoors, our Black Friday event is now on, with our best ever deals on winter gear. Hurry, offer ends soon. With members card £5, T's and C's apply. Go Outdoors, discover freedom.
At BetMGM, we know how to put on a show. So we don't just do offers, we do golden offers like this.
The Golden Wheel. Win exclusive prizes every single day, from free bets to free spins and the chance to win a trip to Las Vegas.
Get ready for the golden era in online casino. BetMGM, it's showtime.
1 entry per customer per day. Resets 7 p.m. daily. Expiry, play restrictions, and T's and C's apply. 18 plus. Please gamble responsibly.
Come in.
Boss, Newsom Nationwide.
What are they doing now?
They've just confirmed they're keeping branches open.
Ha ha! What nonsense! Who needs a branch? I don't.
Yes, but...
What I need is happy shareholders. I don't care about happy customers.
You don't worry. Pretty sure Nationwide's customers won't be coming to us.
Unlike the big banks, we're not closing our branches. Nationwide, a good way to bank. To view our branch promise, search nationwide.co.uk/our-promise.
Did you know making your heating system more efficient helps save energy and money off your bills? Here's how in 3 simple steps. 1. Reduce your boiler flow temperature to 60 degrees, saving you up to £60 per year. 2. Bleed your radiators. 3. Get your boiler service to save on future repairs. There you go. It all adds up. For more energy-saving advice, visit gov.uk/save energy.
Let's join Barry live for the build-up to this monumental match. What's your prediction?
You know, I've been watching this team for a very long time, Steve, and I can tell you now, score will be 3-1, there'll be over 9 corners, and the Frenchman will score a header.
Very specific, Barry.
It's Bet Builder from LiveScore Bet, mate. You can combine markets from thousands of options to create your own bet, or if you can't make up your mind, you can choose from the pre-built quick bet options.
Which is exactly what you did, isn't it?
Bet Builder from LiveScore Bet. Building a bet just got easier. Full account terms apply. Bet responsibly. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
To celebrate the launch of Vinnie Jones in the Country on Discovery Plus, Talksport Breakfast are swapping post-match debate for a rural escape. Join the GOATs of sports broadcasting, that's the greatest of all time by the way, as the Talksport Crazy Gang go all in for the great outdoors with a week of countryside challenges.
We're answering the call of nature, Al. Well, that's not what that means.
No country for hard men. Tuesday morning from 6 on Talksport with Discovery Plus. Stream Vinnie Jones in the Country exclusively on Discovery Plus. Subscription required. 18 plus. T's and C's apply.
High fidelity radio coverage. The Euro 2024 qualifiers live on Talksport.
Over the top, it's a straight one for Miofsky. He's done well to turn it forward. Elmas will try and give him the return ball. He's going to chase after it all. Good bounce for Lewis. And it's very hard playing surface. He does sit up very high. Lewis got in the way fairly, and Miofsky ends up on the deck. The VAR is having a look at the incident, and is a potential penalty check for a foul by Lewis on Miofsky. And the referee is going to come over and he's going to have a look at the monitor. And is he going to give a penalty? Yes, he has. Penalty to North Macedonia. Bardi waits and runs up towards the ball. Right foot in. Pickford saves it. Bardi puts the follow-up away. And England trail in Skopje. Behind against the side that they put 7 past at Old Trafford back in June.
1-0 to North Macedonia at half-time. Second half coming up live on Talksport. Let's get the half-time odds with Ladbrokes.
Odds update on Talksport with Ladbrokes. We play together. Terms and conditions apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Well, North Macedonia to go on and win this 11-4. The draw 17-10, and England to turn it around 5-4. Both teams to score. Yes, 11-2 on. No, 17-5. That's the latest odds with Ladbrokes. Play at ladbrokes.com. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Odds update on Talksport with Ladbrokes. We play together. Terms and conditions apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
So England with work to do. Let's see if there's any changes at half-time. Second half coming up live on Talksport. The Premier League action returns this weekend. It gets underway with a heavyweight clash. Man City against Liverpool. First against second. It's live on Talksport Saturday at 12:30 kick-off with full commentary from the Etihad on Talksport and via the Talksport app. Our coverage from the Etihad gets underway at 11 a.m. Rock and roll star and Man City fan Noel Gallagher was a guest on the Drive show last week. He feels Liverpool will be City's main challengers this season.
I think it's probably between City, Liverpool and Arsenal, and I'd probably whittle that down to Liverpool towards the end. Only because what I was saying before, when Liverpool get to the finishing line, they've always pushed us all the way to the last day, so they would have the experience with the core of their team's been there and done it.
Noel Gallagher, and I don't know whether he's been a little bit naughty there in terms of other clubs. I know he doesn't like Arsenal, but thinks Liverpool will be the main challengers to Manchester City this season. Stuart Pearce ahead of that game the weekend, which I know we're all looking forward to. Do you say that's right? Liverpool will be the main challengers?
Yeah, I think they've got more striking options. That's what puts them above Arsenal potentially, so in my opinion. But let's hope Manchester City have got challengers, and it's a competitive league, which is looking as though it is at the moment.
The 4 City players playing tonight, and we know Pep Guardiola will be hoping that nobody's affected. And listen, there's a few problems for them. They obviously let Gundogan go in the summer. Kevin De Bruyne is out. John Stones has been out, and him being missing for England as well. I think it's a problem. I've got to say, as an England fan, I'm worried about John Stones and his availability, having played 90 minutes once for City this season. We need him at the Euros.
Yeah, we certainly do. I think, you've got Mark Gahey playing and starting at the moment. He's done fairly well. I've got to say, Harry Maguire's concerned me a little bit. I've been a big champion of his calls, and I think his performances have been really good. The last couple of games I've watched, though, he's looked very leggy on the turn.
Well, going back to the penalty incident, the one that wasn't given, it's definitely a penalty, isn't it? And what really worries me about that is he's so clumsy in the box and wipes his opponent out with a drunken stumble. But he gives the ball away so easily. He used to be brilliant at striding forward with the ball and playing risky passes, but usually they came off. Now a simple square ball to his fellow centre-back goes wrong.
This comes about, the incident in the box that you've just said, this comes about because he's fearful of his pace now, I think. And I've seen his defending on occasion for his club as well. When he's been pulled into wide areas, he's looked for others to come and do his work for him. Now that sends out a message that you're a little bit worried that you're getting a little bit slower on the turn, Aid, and I think that's what happened with the penalty. He got so nervous in the box that he just ended up crumbling to his knees.
Are we saying that Gareth may well have a decision to make before next summer?
Well, without a doubt. He's been a brilliant servant to the club, but the bottom line is we're aiming for excellence, and England should never be a guaranteed place for anybody. So if your form's not good, then someone's going to challenge you.
Quick one, we've just seen it's difficult to look at the replay of the Rico Lewis penalty incident. Yes or no for you?
Probably not, no, but I think it was a culmination of Harry Maguire's challenge early and the referee having time to think about that and thinking, well, maybe I've missed one there.
Well, players are back out for the second half. Shambolic, that's the ref and the VAR. Sloppy and poor, that's England. Winning 1-0, that's North Macedonia. Second half with former England captain Stuart Pearce alongside Talksport's England commentator Jim Proudfoot.
Well, having seen the incidents again during the half-time interval, I think the first one was definitely a penalty, a foul by Maguire. I don't think the second one was. I certainly don't think it was a clear and obvious error. so shouldn't have been overruled, the on-field decision. But the bottom line is that North Macedonia deserved a penalty in that first half. They scored from the rebound from it. They lead by a goal to nil on a night where England have only had a couple of shots on target so far. And we're underway for the second period with neither side having made any changes. North Macedonia in all red, England white shirts with blue trim, dark blue shorts. England kicking from right to left as we look at it. Maguire is in there just to nod the ball away inside the centre circle for Miofsky. Spend the half-time interval, Stuart, looking to see when the last time was that England lost a game to a side ranked outside the top 50 in the world rankings. I'll just let you ponder when that might have been. Still a long way to go in this one. And the North Macedonians 66th in the FIFA list, 68th in the ELO rankings. So I'll just let you think when the last time might have been that England lost a game to a side outside the top 50 in either list. Now the North Macedonians will bring the ball forward here and find Miofsky. Miofsky laying it back through the midfield. Atanasov spraying it out towards the far side, but England can mop up again. England with Pickford in goal, to Walker, Maguire, Gurhey and Lewis, Alexander-Arnold and Rice, Saka, Foden and Grealish, and Watkins, and on the bench Tomori, Konsa, Henderson, Phillips, Palmer, Gallagher, Rashford, Kane, Ramsdale and Johnston. Rico Lewis has got it and plays it down the England left-hand side for Jack Grealish, who has, Stuart's been mentioning over the course of the evening, he's got the beating of Demoski every time he takes him on. Maybe he hasn't quite taken him on as frequently as Gareth Southgate would like. Walker can play it forward here for Foden. Foden now towards the right flank for Bukayo Saka. Saka will bring it onto his left foot towards the corner of the penalty area. Still he goes and flicks it across. And it's put in for 1-1 by Jack Grealish. And the equalising goal has come just 2 minutes into the second half. Great play by Saka, carving his way through, putting it on a plate for Grealish. It is 1-1.
Great play there, as you say. Cut inside on that left foot, ducked in between two Macedonian defenders and whipped it across the face of the goal, and it was Grealish coming in at the back post. We talked about, can we get that extra man in the box, the opposite wide player. On that occasion, Grealish level with the far post. As the ball bounced, he's just helped it into the roof of the net. England back on parity.
Only his third goal for his country in 35 appearances on what is only his third competitive start for England in the last 18 games. I think we both came against Italy. The VAR is having a look. The referee hasn't been given the signal to restart play as yet.
I think he'll be having a look, A, on the offside scenario, and B, did it bounce up and hit a hand in any way, shape or form?
Well, I think if Grealish's hand that went in, then it has to be disallowed. It's the laws of the game. They are looking at a potential offside leading up to the goal. So whether that's Saka's ball inside the penalty area, and whether Grealish was in an offside position when he was attacking that. But that's what the officials are looking at the moment. So it will be cut and dried. It is all a scientific decision whether he is in an offside position or not. And having a look from a distance at a freeze frame, I would suggest that it might be disallowed, but who knows? So hard to say. It is very, very close either way. So Jack Grealish's name on the score sheet as things stand at the moment, but hold your breath, because it's very close indeed. And Grealish is just coming over now and is having a few words with Gareth Southgate, who will have seen a replay, will have seen the freeze frame, and I think Jack's just trying to ascertain what the manager's thoughts are. But you can tell by how long this is taking how close it is. Stuart?
We're coming to a stage at the moment in football, and this is a long break now, it seems. You're going to have to send the conditioning coaches on at the moment to re-warm the players up again. It's incredible. And certainly taking such a while to do, and the referee seems to be walking in a direction to make a decision.
Yeah, it's offside. Doesn't count. And it is still 1-0. But at least a little bit of solace for England at how easy it was to break through, albeit that the goal hasn't counted. I would suggest possibly even a fraction of an inch away from an equalising goal. But offside is offside. No one will ever convince me that VAR was brought in to specifically arbitrate on calls that are as tight as that for offside. But we are where we are, and play restarts with a free kick. It was offside, and as a consequence, the goal has to be disallowed. Here's Foden, clipping one over the top now, and Grealish is in again, running towards the edge of the penalty area, keeps his feet, round to challenge, sliding challenge on him. Referee says no penalty. I think he got that right. One of the centre-halves goes down and is lying on his back inside the box. The goalkeeper's on his knees. Collision between the pair of them. Grealish walks away very dismissively. But he's got a different feel about it at the start of this second half.
It is. We've got to get on the front foot. I mean, we've had a couple of breaks in play now, one for the VAR check and one now, one of the central defenders down, but much better. Good ball over the top from Foden and good movement by Grealish.
Now elsewhere, Moldova down to 10 men in their game against the Czech Republic. They trail by a goal to nil. Moldova have to win that game to qualify. If they don't win tonight, they are out. They won't be going in the playoffs. The Czechs do have the playoff safety net, but they're leading in the game. They only need to draw. And they're a goal up and they're a man up as well now in that game. Still 0-0. The other game in this group between Ukraine and Italy, incidentally. That means that the Italians are precariously holding on to second place at the moment. They would go through on head-to-head if it stays that way. But a goal for Ukraine, if it is unanswered, would see them qualify and would put Italy in the playoffs. Now a free kick has been given to North Macedonia here, which is 15 yards outside the penalty area, and it's almost level with the right-hand edge of the box. And England will again defend with a high line, keeping the 18-yard box clear. 2 in the wall this time. It's Gianni Alioski who stands over it. Leeds fans will testify that his set-piece delivery can be absolutely spot on. England with 2 in the wall, but everybody else back. North Macedonia have got 6 in a line on the edge of the penalty area. Alioski playing it in. England did well, protected space. Rice gave the shout to everybody else to leave the ball, and it drifts past the lot and out of play for a goal kick. 1-0 to North Macedonia. You're with Talksport. And here's England legend Stuart Pearce.
Just going back to that point you made about Jack Grealish's goal scoring. So that leaves him on 2 goals now, is he? 2 or 3, did you say?
So he's still on 2. This is his 35th cap for his country.
Which is incredible, really. That's a part of his game that we've got to improve. He's got to improve, that is for sure.
The Macedonians will be able to bring it forward. Hasn't scored a goal for Manchester City yet this season. No Jack either. Ball is over on the Macedonians' left. Miovski, who won the penalty, making his way forward, but the pass wasn't forthcoming. And they'll work it back inside their own half to Musliu, the centre-half. He goes to Alioski. Alioski to Bardi, the goal scorer. It's a very neat turn from him. Play forward towards Elmas, who gets the return ball, then tries to scoop it over the top of Gurhi for Miovski's run, but Rice was there to be able to mop up after Gurhi's initial touch. And Rico Lewis is going to be able to bring it away. Rice, 4 towards halfway now for England. 8 gone second half, although we probably, with the penalty, with the goal check for the disallowed Grealish effort, probably only seen about 4 minutes of playing time. Alexander-Arnold helping it out towards the England right-hand side. Foden with the layoff. Coming in from that right flank is Saka. He's played it back towards Walker. Walker has got Rice to his left-hand side. 4 from him towards Lewis. Lewis will just turn back and go back towards halfway, feeding Mark Gurhi. Grealish now with another opportunity to try and take on Dimoski. Grealish keeping his feet. They had a couple of little nibbles at him. The referee played the advantage and signalled to Jack Grealish that he'd done exactly that. Saka's got it now, right-hand side of the penalty area. Back he goes towards Walker. Watkins is making a good run inside the penalty area. Foden's got it. Foden feeding Watkins. He couldn't turn. Pokes it back towards Foden, but it didn't get there. Now a chance for Talasov to be able to bring it forward. Now towards the right flank for Miovski. Miofsky put under pressure by Rico Lewis, who's won it back, and he goes out of play for what has been given, and I'm not sure the decision was correct, as a throw to North Macedonia. We played 9 minutes in the second half. North Macedonia leading England by a goal. And they'll just go back to that question I asked you before the Grealish goal that was disallowed. Last time that England lost a game to a side ranked outside the top 50 in the world was September 1981, and that game against Norway, the famous Maggie Thatcher "Are you listening?" moment. They lost to a Norwegian side who were ranked 74th in the world. It hasn't happened since then that England have lost the game to a side outside the top 50, but they're 35 minutes away from it happening tonight here in Skopje. The North Macedonians will bring the ball forward again with Elmas. Elmas to Bardi. Back for Elmas again. Elmas just flicking it off with his right foot. Back it goes towards Bardi. The two of them just having their own individual game at the moment. Couldn't find a way past Alexander-Arnold. Thought he'd won a throw. I thought he'd taken a last touch off Macedonia, and he gets a yellow card for contesting the decision. The replay, again, which we can't see, I think, judging by Trent's reaction, would suggest that the officials have got it wrong. But Alexander-Arnold is in the book for dissent.
Yeah, I've got a feeling that if England have got any go-to substitutes, and I'm sure Gareth and Steve have been locked in conversation down there, for me, probably the go-tos would probably be Palmer on his form the other night, and certainly Harry Kane, the obvious choice.
Alexander-Arnold in the book for screaming at the referee. Dissent is dissent. Grealish with a lovely ball forward. Saka can drag it into his stride, make his way forward. Watkins is in the penalty area for him. Foden there as well. Play back towards Grealish. Grealish trying to take on Miofsky and Dymowski, but turns away from the pair of them. Goes back for Lewis. England have worked a good position there, but have come back out, and all of a sudden they've got another 8 to try and play through. Rice and Lewis trying to do exactly that. Foden couldn't quite work it into a shooting position, but he can lay it off. Clip back inside the area. Lewis will go up for the header, but the ball didn't get to him. Rice will pick it up now on the edge of the box. Back for Jack Grealish again. Down towards Declan Rice. Rice with a ball across the face of the referee for Trent Alexander-Arnold. His shot takes a deflection out of play for an England corner.
Yeah, we probably missed the opportunity in the build-up to get that shot away. Grealish probably had the best opportunity turned out, and then all of a sudden, when Trent Alexander decided to get his effort away, I'm not sure it was on.
Harry Kane's going to be coming on for England in a moment. First of all, though, their fifth corner of the night, which is the first corner that they've had in this second half. And in fact, the change is made now. Kane on for Watkins. So Watkins doesn't become the first England player in more than 50 years to score in his first 3 starts for his country.
I feel a little bit sorry for Watkins, to be fair, because he's had very, very little supply, and quick supply at that, from his back line.
Northern Ireland lead by a goal to nil, and we'll get details of the goal from Windsor Park in a moment. But first of all, this England corner. So Kane taking up station by the penalty spot. Maguire a little bit deeper than him on the edge of the penalty area. Now he's bustling and trying to get in there. Heads go up for it. Oh, it's in! Harry Kane, seconds after coming on. And England are back on level terms. He came on for the corner and just ducked his head onto the delivery to steer it in for 1-1. A goal with his first touch, and England are level again.
Well, I've got to say, ball in play was probably 0.1 of a second before he actually scores a goal. Quite incredible, but from an incredible player. That's why he's a talisman of this team. Incredible. We needed a goal from somewhere. We needed a lift. And Harry Kane just wanders into the box, heads it in the bottom corner, and we're level.
Nonchalantly peels away, hardly celebrated, just, well, it was always going to happen, and come on to do exactly that. It's the 9th successive game for club and country in which he's scored. He's never done that in his career before, and it is 1-1 here in Skopje. Let's get news of the goal in Belfast from Denise.
It's Northern Ireland 1, Denmark 0, 59 minutes gone. Jamal Lewis finds Dion Charles. He in turn finds Shay Charles. Crosses to Isaac Price. Drills his low shot under Kasper Schmeichel in the Denmark nets. It's Denmark 1. It's Northern Ireland 1, Denmark 0.
Here's Jack Grealish for England. 1-1 here. the lack of celebration from Harry Kane possibly betrays the fact it might have been an own goal. Here's Phil Foden, left-footed ball clipped in by him, and that was very nearly an own goal as well, as it sliced up off Seferimov, and the goalkeeper came out and caught it. There's no way it could be deemed to be a deliberate back pass.
No, well, I don't know whether they're claiming a handball or anything in there. It weren't a back pass, but whether they thought it was a handball at all.
Here's Foden. Different feel about the game now as England begin to turn the screw. They haven't been brilliant tonight by any stretch of the imagination, but it's 1-1 with half an hour to go, and they're far and away the more likely winners from here. Alexander-Arnold drives it in. He's taken a deflection, brought down on the edge of the penalty area by Foden, lays it back for Rice. Rice doesn't shoot with his first touch. He takes another touch and finds Grealish. Grealish's first cross is blocked, but it comes back to him again. Lewis then will lay it back towards Maguire. Maguire's got it just outside the centre circle. The England goal at the moment is being credited to Harry Kane, but that might change. But officially right now, it is a Kane goal. Here's Foden. Foden flicked forward. Trent Alexander-Arnold. Out towards the right-hand side for England. Played back by the Macedonians towards Alioski, and he's been fouled by Trent Alexander-Arnold. It's a free kick on the edge of their own box to North Macedonia. 1-1 with 61 gone on Talksport.
Yeah, a better level of energy within the England ranks at the moment, but just going back to Kyle Walker there, he just got caught trying to play in a really tight area, being the last man, and fortunate that when the ball was given away, he managed to cut out the forward pass.
So Northern Ireland leading Denmark by a goal to nil. Denmark have already qualified, and Northern Ireland are out. England again giving it away. The North Macedonians able to bring it forward. Rice trying to stop the shot coming in. Did enough, just flicks it clear for Grealish. There's an angry reaction from Grealish, who feels that he's a marked man tonight. There's a little push of Elmas once the free kick had been given England's way. And Jack's just got to stop the red mist descending at the moment.
Yeah, I've been a little bit disappointed with us probably being a little bit petty about arguing about decisions and a little bit of push and shove on occasion. I don't think there's any need for it, certainly. But once again, Walker just got himself caught out wrong side there, and that caused the panic in the back line. A great recovery tackle by Declan Rice.
England bring it forward again towards the edge of the North Macedonian penalty area, but Alioski flicked it away from Saka. He did well. England win it back with Walker. Saka flicking around the corner, fired in behind Kane and cleared out as far as Lewis. Lewis to Foden. Foden trying to jink it down towards Jack Grealish on the left, but it's cleared, and North Macedonia will be able to bring it away over halfway. And just for a moment, he committed himself. The ball was nudged past him by Demoski, but he ran out of room. And it's a throw that will be taken on the England left.
Just dangling with his wrong foot there. He's attempting to make the challenge with his right foot when clearly it was a left-footed challenge needed.
Finland are 2 up in San Marino. Finland will be in the playoffs and will probably play against Bosnia-Herzegovina. Slovenia won, Kazakhstan won in one of the games with real jeopardy tonight. The winners of that qualify. It is 1-1. Slovenia, as things stand, will be the side that will make it through. Grealish's industry down the England left-hand side should have been rewarded with a corner. The officials, who've got plenty of decisions wrong tonight, unfortunately, have given a goal kick.
Yeah, as I say, these things happen in the game. You just got to leave it, dump it, don't get booked on the back of it.
I think the players, particularly England players, have lost faith with the officials, and that's part of the problem. Remember, there were 2 penalty calls that he got wrong, we think, in the first half. The first should have been a penalty to North Macedonia and wasn't, and the second one was a pretty marginal, soft at very best against Rico Lewis, and that was overturned. The on-field decision of no penalty was overturned by the VAR. Here's Foden making his way forward, but a free kick's been given against Kane, who immediately puts his hands to his head as if to betray the fact that he thinks it's a shocking decision, but he's kept his mouth shut.
Well, I've got to say, we have a wonderful game on our hands in professional football that seems to be marred by a multitude of poor decisions and poor gamesmanship by players.
Play 64 minutes. It is 1 apiece. And the North Macedonians, after a little ricochet, have the ball with Elmas, and he's won a corner. It's the Macedonians' first of the night, as his left-footed shot deflected away. Now a corner which will be taken out on the left flank. I think it's fair to say, though, that what we've seen in 65 minutes has given you plenty of ammunition to phone up Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy tonight, taking your calls on the sports bar. Plenty of talking points from England's performance, and you can have your say after the game. 03717 2233 44. Corner's been taken short. When it's driven in, Kane heads it away. Then Miofsky will help it out towards the Macedonian left flank, and they will try and come again. Next phase of play, ball swept inside the penalty area, and England have done well to repel that. And Trent Alexander-Arnold sees the ball come to his feet, and he releases Foden, and Foden with ease gets around the first challenge, but he couldn't beat a second. It was good play by Demoski, who's not had a great night, but he defended that well. It was very important that he did from a Macedonian perspective. Then he plays it forward, and Miofsky may have been offside had he been able to get on the end of that. It would have been close, might just have timed his run to perfection, but it would have been a close run thing. Ball was overhit anyway. Pickford picks it up, and Declan Rice is very quickly in possession as England will try and bring it forward again with 25 minutes to go at 1-1 here on Talksport.
I think what these last two games have shown us, that we find it very, very difficult to break teams down that bank up behind the ball a little bit, but we are a very good counter-attack side against teams that are probably, I would say, on the standings, our equal, if you like.
Rice almost got the ball through towards Harry Kane. Phil Foden thought he'd won it back, and the referee says that he was guilty of a foul, and the free kick has been given against him for a foul on the left flank on Mitrovsky. It's a free kick which will be taken by the Macedonians. Tomorrow morning, Natalie Sawyer and Neil Ruddock on Breakfast with Talksport from 6. And former England manager Sam Allardyce will be having his say on this performance tonight and England's qualification campaign at large. We'll also hear from David Bumble-Lloyd, and former Wales striker Rob Earnshaw will be on the show. Rob looking ahead to Wales' big game against Turkey tomorrow night. So that's Natalie Sawyer, Neil Ruddock, Talksport Breakfast from 6 tomorrow. If you fancy something different on your morning commute, you can check out the Chris Evans Breakfast Show weekdays from 6:30. The legend that is Chris Evans on Virgin Radio on DAB, or download the app. England getting it forward again, out towards Bukayo Saka. Kane waiting in the middle, Saka checking back, saw the run of Foden, just tried to feather it into his path, but the Macedonians will be able to bring it away. Bardi getting it forward, and then losing out straight away. Well played by Declan Rice. Rice now towards Grealish. Grealish coming in from the left flank finds Kane. Kane through the middle for Bukayo Saka again. Saka laying it off to his right-hand side for Trent Alexander-Arnold. And then the Arsenal man peeled out towards the right-hand touchline to give England the opportunity for some space, and Walker has played it to him. Walker gets it back then from Saka. Walker will be involved for Manchester City against Liverpool at the weekend as the top two meet live on Talksport Saturday lunchtime at 12:30. Here's Rice. Rice back to Gurhey, and now down towards Grealish. Lewis on the left flank here for England. Grealish will be able to bring it forward, checks back inside. Couldn't quite get himself into a shooting position because he was a little bit too far out. So he's found Foden. Foden to Walker. Walker in a central area. Foden clipping one, left-footed, down towards the England left-hand side for Rico Lewis. England stringing the passes together very neatly here, but the offside flag is up to curtail that attack. Lewis had just gone a little bit early. Free kick, which the Macedonians had taken their right-back position, and we're midway through the second half here in Skopje at 1-1.
Yeah, we are. As I say, we're looking for that goal to get our nose in front. I'd like to see Cole Palmer get on the pitch at some stage to back up what he done on Friday evening, to give us an extra option. But the question you've always got to ask yourself, who would he come on for? I think Grealish has done well enough. Foden definitely. And Saka's always a threat, so you've got to understand, if you're putting one on, you've got to take one off.
But where do England need to improve with 20 minutes to go, or are you're happy then that superior fitness might get them over the line here, as Elmas just can't quite control a ball that might have been awkward, and then Maguire steps in and his touch missed Walker, and all of a sudden Bardi's got it back for the Macedonians on the edge of the England box. It goes back out towards the dark-haired, thick-set Elif Elmas. Now in a very optimistic attempt on goal. Atanasov barely even gets the ball through to Pickford, who dives to his right-hand side to make the save. What do England need to do differently, Stuart, in the next 20 minutes?
Well, we need to move the ball from back to front a lot quicker than we are. I've been saying that from the first minute, and the way we start games, I think is a little bit too slow. It's as though, like, we'll just see what you're about, move the ball, get comfortable in possession. I don't think at times you need that in games. Sometimes you need to just go after people straight away and put them on the back foot. And you've seen this when we lift the revs and play interchange balls and give and goes off of each other at high tempo, we're a really effective side.
Well, this is a match that England trailed for 18 minutes before Harry Kane scored with his first touch coming onto the field as a substitute for an attacking corner. UEFA still giving the goal to Kane at the moment. Here's Saka, right-footed effort from him, on the turn, is blocked. Foden will watch it out of play for an England throw. Heavy suggestion that it took a big touch off Atanasov and maybe should be an own goal. But at the moment, UEFA still crediting Harry Kane with that goal, which will be his 9th of this qualification campaign and his 63rd for his country. It's 1-1 with 20 minutes to go.
Once again, Grealish, brilliant play there. Two players have got to come and front him up because he's too good for just one. And he slides the ball through to Lewis, who's got beyond both of them, and put the ball in the box. And Saka, unfortunate, had his shot blocked, but much better play. Keep feeding Grealish, that's all you've got to do, and give him instruction to attack.
The performance of Rico Lewis, certainly one of the positives for England tonight, and he's got it again now as he brings it forward towards the edge of the penalty area, and Foden trying to clip it back into his path, and it might break Saka's way inside the penalty area, and he's clipped it back in. Lewis going up for it, but the whistle's gone, and Lewis slams the ball into the net once the whistle's gone. And he's got to be careful that he doesn't get a yellow card for that. I think the referee's going to be lenient, but it is going to be a free kick to the Macedonians inside their 6-yard box.
Well, I've got to say that I've only got a distant view of the replay of that, but it looked a really, really poor decision, I've got to say.
Why?
Well, I think Alioski, it was just crumbled basically in his own box, and the referee thinks, well, if someone falls on the floor, someone must have pushed them on the floor. But sadly, in our profession now, that isn't the case.
North Macedonia bring it forward too far away from what will be the famous result with a small F, and they've had the bigger scalps than a draw against England in the recent past. You think that famous win that they had in Germany, another one in Italy against North Macedonia, against the Italians, I beg your pardon, in Palermo. Booze and whistles for Harry Maguire as he brings the ball out from the back for England. 18 minutes to go. Here's Grealish coming in off the left flank, little reverse ball. Lewis was stopped from making his run by Alimi, and it's a free kick to a chorus of ironic cheers from the England fans away to our left-hand side. Free kick that England have taken quickly. And they're snapping at Grealish's heels again. But he's maintained possession. Goes back for Gerhi. Maguire angling a long one over the top, and it's a beautiful ball. Again, the bounce did Bukayo Saka no favours. Had to stop his run to bring it under control. Actually ran past it. Then he looked as though he might just have been nudged to the floor on the edge of the area. Referee says no. Kane wins it back, but the referee saw that one and has given the North Macedonians a free kick. It's just, I think, the inconsistency that is frustrating the players, because they don't know what's going to be given as a foul and what isn't, because the referee doesn't seem to be treating similar incidents the same from one moment to the next.
Yeah, but Jim, I've got to say, the players are creating the inconsistencies by their actions of falling to the floor cheaply and pretending they've got a serious injury when they haven't.
Czech Republic lead Moldova by 2-0 now. Moldova down to 10 then, so the Czechs are eschewing, you would think, to be able to finish in the top 2 in that group to make it through. There will be 3 teams that book their place in Germany tonight. As things stand, it will be the Czechs, the Italians still 0-0 against Ukraine in Leverkusen. They're both going through, and Slovenia going through with them as things stand right now, 1-1 against Kazakhstan, but they can't afford to concede there. England bring it forward, 1-1 here in Skopje. Gerhi to the feet of Kane. Kane coming deep, flicking it forward. Almost a perfect ball. Goalkeeper came out. Centre-half had to deal with it for him as Musliu took it out of the hands of his goalkeeper. Might not have got there because of the run of Trent Alexander-Arnold. And it's cleared for a throw. And they will make a double change. They're going to take Miovski off and replace him with Ristovski. And we're also going to see Kostadinov come on into the midfield. Kostadinov, who injured his knee in April 2022. He hasn't played for club or country since then. So a big round of applause for him. After 19 months out of the game, he comes on to replace Alimi in central midfield.
Yeah, I've got to say, when at the end of the game, when you analyse their passing map, if you have a look at the amount of times they played the ball over probably longer than 30 metres in behind the opposition's defence, you'll start to correlate the fact that it's causing the opposition a problem, and it's a very, very effective ball. But we've only done it about maybe 5 times in the game. I think it's been on to play a bit more often. Then all of a sudden, the opposition's back 5 drop off because they're worried about it. And then there's more room to generate the passing lines in front of their back 5.
Nice as a back for Maguire here, who's played a couple of excellent balls forward from the centre circle out into wide areas. Walker now will try and find one. It was headed away. Foden picking up the seconds. Foden's got Kane to his right. He's got Saka to his right as well. Plays it to the Arsenal man. He's got 4 inside the penalty area if he can clip it in. Foden waits on the edge of the box. It was recycled via Alexander-Arnold instead. And England just to shuffle back some more towards halfway. Walker now to Alexander-Arnold and back for Maguire. Why isn't it happening, Stuart? Why, if you can see that it's on from up here, is it the players not taking the responsibilities, the message not getting across that it is on? Is it the players that aren't reading the situation that are at fault, or should the coaching staff be getting the message to them to play it more frequently?
I think they want to be so safe with the ball and not give the ball away. But the trouble is, if you do that, it gets tighter and tighter by playing short passes and straight passes into a lot of traffic. It's easier up here. We've got a brilliant vantage point, but there's got to be encouragement to say, look, make the runs in behind the opposition.
Now a ball from Gurhey, doesn't find Grealish, and Dimoski can bring it forward, and he sprayed it wide of the left-hand side. Carl Walker going back goal side of Elmas, but Elmas has still got it. Elmas will come in from the left-hand touchline, lay it back through the midfield for Atanasov. Atanasov to centre-half Musliu, back out to Alioski. Alioski on the left-hand touchline goes back into a more central area. Down for Manev. Manev poking it forward. Tarnasov takes over. He finds Dimoski, the man that has been Jack Grealish's nemesis tonight. Lewis winning it back easily for England, and he'll go back for Maguire on the edge of his own penalty area. Let's get very quick news of a second goal in Belfast. This Talksport's Denise Watson.
Yes, it's Northern Ireland 2, Denmark 0. Conor McMenamin with a superb cross in for the Bolton striker Dion Charles. A great finish. It does beg the question why Northern Ireland have not played like this in the campaign. So at Windsor Park in Belfast, it's Northern Ireland 2, Denmark 0.
Thank you, Denise. Here's Rico Lewis for England, the Manchester City man. He may well be called into action for Pep's men. City against Liverpool Saturday, the big game this weekend, first against second, and it's live on Talksport, kicking off at 12:30 on game day, exclusive from the Etihad this coming Saturday. Stuart will be there alongside Sam Matterface as Harry Maguire brings the ball forward. We've got 12 minutes to go. 1-1 the scoreline. England have been held at home on a couple of occasions by North Macedonia in the past. Still plenty of time for them to win this yet. Foden knocking it into the feet of Kane. Kane, having a second attempt to win it back, has been able to do exactly that. He's played it for Grealish. Grealish fires it far too high and hard across the edge of the 6-yard box, and it beats everybody and goes out of play for a throw.
Well, the referee on that occasion ignored a ridiculous dive from the Macedonian, and then from there, Grealish has got in behind the back line, and he should have done so much better. Whether it was a bounce of the ball or whatever.
So just over 10 minutes to go. These the scores in Group C. North Macedonia 1, England 1. England will be top seeds for The draw, which takes place a week on Saturday, and there'll be top seeds along with Germany, Portugal, France, Spain and Belgium. It's Ukraine 0, Italy 0. Italy would go through and Ukraine would be in the playoffs. In Group E, Albania 0, the Faroes 0. Albania have already qualified, the Faroes are out. The Czechs 2 up against 10-man Moldova, and they will go through, and Moldova will be out. Give you the Group H latest in a moment, as England win another corner. And it's a left-footed in-swinger, in very deep, but just a little bit too high. Harry Maguire coming in at the far post, couldn't quite climb. He was on his way down by the time the ball got to him, and he goes out of play for a goal kick. In Group H, we just heard from Denise, it's Northern Ireland 2, Denmark 0. Northern Ireland out, Denmark have already qualified. San Marino are out, they're 2 down at home to Finland, who are going to be in the playoffs, probably against the Bosnians, maybe against Wales. Slovenia 1, Kazakhstan 1, and Slovenia will go out. I beg your pardon, Slovenia will be through if it stays that way, 1-1, and Kazakhstan will be in a playoff tie against Greece. But a late winner for Kazakhstan there, and they will qualify. England looking for a late winner here. We're in the last 10 minutes, and all the lights are on the phones in the North Macedonian end, all around the bowl of the stadium here, with its curving roof that mirrors the line of the mountains behind the stadium. Ball played forward by Lewis. Lewis down towards Foden. Foden to Grealish. Grealish has got a pair of Macedonian arms around him, and the free kick has been given against Dimoski. So a free kick that Foden will take, an opportunity to get it in here. Kane waiting inside the D. Maguire making his way forward, and Gurhey going forward as well for this.
Yeah, good opportunity to put the ball in the box. I've got to say, with England at this moment in time, they look as though they're just seeing the game out more so than chasing the game aggressively, trying to win it.
Don't need a win, of course. The draw mathematically gets things sorted out for them. Foden playing it in. Maguire with a header straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. Maguire claiming that he was pushed. The referee said that there was an infringement. He's given it against Harry Maguire. Another centre-half on the deck inside the 6-yard box. Just being held back to his feet now. Free kick will be taken by Dimitrievski. And the England fans are telling the Slovakian official what they think of his performance tonight. It starts with "You're not fit." There are 3 England subs that are going to be coming on very shortly. We're going to see Calvin Phillips make his way onto the field. Cole Palmer's going to get another run out, and Marcus Rashford will be coming on as well. Triple change is imminent. England pushing forward, getting a chance towards the edge of the area with Foden. Foden to his left-hand side for Grealish. Inside the box, very quickly out of it again, but he can turn and bring it into a position that he can try and clip it forward into the face of the nearest defender. Gets a second bite of the cherry. Motions that he's going to try and deliver a ball in first time, and then peels away. Lays it down for Rice. Rice to Rico Lewis. Lewis towards Foden. Foden clipping it left-footed inside the penalty area, and coming around the back was Saka, and he's headed it wide.
Yeah, decent build up there. Grealish had the ball in the box. I was hoping he was going to go on and unload one, but he decided to check out keeper's there.
So a triple change is going to be made. Phillips, Rashford and Palmer, the players that will be coming on. I know you were hoping to see another view of Cole Palmer. He's only going to get 7 minutes plus stoppage time, though.
Yeah. I thought he done really well on Friday evening, and as I say, he's got another opportunity now.
What do you need to see from him, Stuart, in the 7 minutes that remain?
I just think an aptitude to want to get on the ball, a confidence on the ball, and I think on Friday night from Palmer especially, he got on the front foot and made things happen for us, didn't he, when he come on, and give us a bit of a lift as a team. And for a young man to do that, I think is commendable. And I think we've seen that a little bit from Rico Lewis. He should be pleased with his first start. There's no doubt that he's comfortable in this standard of football, without a doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. First of, you would imagine, a great many. I reckon he's got every chance of getting to 100 caps. We'll see. The changes, incidentally, Phillips, Palmer and Rashford on, and it's Saka, Alexander-Arnold and Grealish that have come off. So Marcus Rashford playing down the left-hand side for England, this near touchline. It's 1-1. We've got 6 minutes to go here in Skopje on Talksport. You can book your calls right now for the Sports Bar. Another England performance that won't have been as good as Gareth Southgate would have anticipated or hoped. Your views on it on 03717223344. Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy taking your calls, and we will hear all the reaction from downstairs in the tunnel here at the Josip Brzeski Stadium with our England correspondent Faye Carruthers. England working the ball inside the box here. Kane trying to steal a march and get in behind Serafimov. Can't do so, and it'll be clear. The goals for the Czech Republic and Slovenia in their games, and they're surely both going to be qualifying tonight. They lead 3-0 and 2-1 respectively in matches in which they only need draws. Still 0-0 between Ukraine and Italy, and a bit of jeopardy in that game later on. Now back pass there towards Pickford, that on this playing surface with the erratic high bounce, there's a goalkeeper no favours. He was able to hook it away, but he was put under pressure and he wasn't happy at the quality of the ball that came his way.
You should have a mentality as a defender. If the ball's bouncing, you've got to take the problems out the ball before you give it back to somebody else, especially your goalkeeper. And that one was bouncing all over the place and would not come down.
Stefan Ashkovsky is going to be coming on late on here for North Macedonia, a player that hasn't got a club at the moment. He was playing in Greek football last season, hasn't played a club game since April, but he comes on to replace Dimoski, who is very grateful. He can just untie the knots that Jack Grealish had been putting in his blood all night. The ball goes over to the far side, the Macedonian left. 4 minutes to go. 1-1 the score here in Skopje. And England can hold on here. They will end 2023 unbeaten. Won all but one game in this calendar year so far. But are they going to drop points, albeit completely academically, in a second qualifier at the end? Given a free kick away, that'll be a two-man wall that England will line up, and again they've got everybody back behind the ball as they prepare to defend this, Stu.
Yeah, it's important that they don't concede a goal. You know, you're looking to win the game. It's really important that we're 1-1 at the moment. Make sure you don't concede from this.
In comes the free kick. Played short, out towards the left-hand side, the corner of the penalty area. Left-footed ball swept inside the box. Heads go up for it, and Pickford can watch it onto the roof of the net. I think a few of the North Macedonian supporters this side of the ground saw the net ripple and thought it was in. Pickford had it covered. Just went onto the top of the net, and he's taken the goal kick quickly. 3 to go.
Yeah, those three central defenders have got some stature about them, and certainly we run out of markers, to be fair, very quickly when they come up.
Maguire on the edge of the centre circle. Long diagonal ball forward intended for Rashford. Headed away by the recently arrived Ashkovsky. Rico Lewis has got it now. The Manchester City man laying it down for Declan Rice. Rice 15 yards outside the Macedonian penalty area, goes back for Calvin Phillips. Phillips to Walker. Walker near the edge of the centre circle, just bringing it into a more midfield position on a surface that has held up relatively well, but it's certainly had an erratic bounce and been very, very hard.
Yeah, the roll of the ball's been fine. It's the bounce that we feared from the offset, and that bounce has probably led to the penalty against Lewis, and obviously one or two other incidents, I would suggest.
If you're just joining us, we felt that the penalty against Lewis was very unfortunate. We also felt that England themselves were very fortunate not to have conceded a penalty prior to that for a foul by Maguire. Here is Lewis, played in by Foden. Lewis just dallying. Rare mistake from him on the edge of the penalty area. Wanted one touch too many, and Ashkovsky could come in and win it back from him. And now Bardi, the goal scorer, will turn away and play in Ashkovsky, who will try and take on Lewis, and Lewis sticking to his task really well. Watches the ball over the line, out of play for a throw that he's taken quickly, but we're in the 90th minute now and it's still 1-1.
I tell you what, the thing I like about Lewis, he suffered the odd disappointment from giving the ball away or the penalty that's gone against him. He's been unshakable in his mentality straight afterwards, and that's a great trait to have as a professional.
Nothing you can do about it, but that is so much easier said than done, just to put it to the back of your mind, and he has been able to do that. Now Phil Foden driving forward through the middle. Was he fouled? Referee says he was. Free kick to England. 10 yards outside the penalty area. Marginally left of centre. Possibly have done with it being a couple of yards further left for the angle, but it's in a good position here. Just about to go into stoppage time, and the Macedonians will make another change. Elise is going to be coming on to replace Yanni Atanasov. Former Hajduk Split player making way, and Elise is on to replace him. Player only made his full debut for his country back in September, and he'll get a few moments in this game. Now, probably should be 5 minutes to be added on here. It is in fact 6. So still plenty of time for England to end 2023 with a victory. Now this free kick has got no shortage of interested parties. But Marcus Rashford looks the overwhelming favourite. Everybody else has vacated the scene.
Well, it was about 30 metres out here on an attempt to knuckle ball up and down.
There's 4 in the wall. To the right of the wall as we look at it, England have stationed a player who will try and peel out of the way as Rashford hits this, and he hits it wide.
Well, absolute country mile wide, really. Probably about 4 or 5 metres wide. I don't know how he's got it that wrong, to be fair, from there, but I can understand it being skied slightly, but yeah, way wide.
Northern Ireland have beaten Denmark by 2-0, and we'll get full-time details at the end of this game. The Czechs have qualified. They've beaten Moldova 3-0 tonight. Slovenia have qualified as well. They've beaten Kazakhstan 2-1. We'll give you a roundup of all of the results at the end of the game, with what it means for who's gone through and what the playoffs are likely to be. We're in stoppage time here in Skopje, and it remains 1 apiece. Still Ukraine 0, Italy 0. Italy hanging on to a 0-0 draw, which would see them qualify on a head-to-head record in this group, second behind England. Lewis battling with Gurhi to win the ball back. Maguire's got it. Played forward now towards Declan Rice. Played 90 seconds of the 6 added minutes. Still all square. And the reaction from the England camp will be very interesting. You can hear it here on Talksport with our England correspondent Faye Carruthers. Harry Kane bringing it forward, but it was a poor ball along the deck. He's done well to win it back, but again it's cleared. Mishkovsky getting it away. In fact, he and Mane both went for the same ball, but they between them were able to get it back into England territory. It's played down towards Marcus Rashford in the 93rd minute, and Rashford just runs out of room trying to take it on down the left-hand touchline, and he hasn't been able to make an impression since coming on, unfortunately.
No, it's been once again probably a follow-up from the Malta game. A little bit disappointing from our point of view. We've found it very, very difficult to break a side down that have been quite stubborn in getting players behind the ball. We've had the beating of players in key areas, namely both of their wing backs, but failed to compensate on that.
Phillips, a couple of poor challenges on England players, one of which results in a free kick. Foden has stayed down for a moment and is holding his ankle. Lewis goes across, and Foden is back up on his feet, just hobbling for a moment, and then back down on his haunches worryingly, almost straight away, but he's going to be okay. But England with another opportunity. Italy have qualified. They've got that 0-0 draw in Leverkusen. So Ukraine will be in the playoffs. Italy have qualified. England taking this free kick. Foden trying to clip the ball forward. Cleared out as far as Bardi. Now North Macedonia trying to launch a counter-attack. Phillips steers the ball away. Out for a throw. That'll be taken on the North Macedonian left. Taken quickly. England with everybody back inside their own half. 2.5 minutes to go here on Talksport. It's 1-1. Ball is back with Serafimov, the centre half, down towards Manev. Manev playing it forward. Ashkovsky helping it past Lewis, but Gurhi mops up for England. Gurhi looking for a long ball over the top. Kane does well. Just backing into Serafimov. Heads the ball down towards Foden. England not attacking this with a huge amount of urgency, as if their lives depended on it. They know that a positive result will see them finish in the number one seeds, which is all that they wanted to do. Maguire chipping the ball forward, goes out past Walker for a throw that will be taken by England after it was deflected away there by the fullback. So one more chance for England potentially with a long throw. 90 seconds left. Maguire comes forward again. He's made that sortie into the Macedonian penalty area on a number of occasions. Long throw inside the box, didn't get the distance that was necessary. It was easily headed away by Elysée. Down towards Rice though. Declan Rice taking it on. Rice in towards the feet of Kane. Kane who scored within moments of coming on earlier, an equalising goal after England trailed at half-time. Rashford's cross hit the nearest Macedonian defender and he's blocked. Bardi will try and lead the counter-attack, but it's a tired pass that evaded Elmas and goes out for an England throw on halfway. A minute to go.
Yeah, as I say, England find it very, very difficult to create clear-cut chances. We're almost dealing with scraps at the moment, and the game looks as though it's meandering to a draw.
What's the biggest negative for England tonight?
I think the slowness of our build-up. That's been the biggest negative for me over two games. I think it just suits the opposition and doesn't suit us, and we sort of try and play ourselves into the game where I don't think there's any need to do so. You've got to go after the opposition very quickly if you humanly can.
England still on the front foot. Walker playing it back for Phillips. Phillips 20 yards outside the penalty area. About 25 seconds to go. Walker's ball inside the box. Kane going up for it. Did it take a deflection? Referee says no. And has given a goal kick. And that's not how Harry Kane saw it. Well, the goal kick from Dimitrievski is probably going to be the last touch of the night.
Yeah, not the first decision that's been contentious in the England eyes, but it's been a very frustrating night for many varying ways. Refereeing decisions, namely probably top of the list for some people.
And the full-time whistle goes. It's the end of England's qualification campaign. All that matters within qualification campaigns is that you end up the right side of the dotted line. England have done exactly that. They've won the group. They've done so convincingly enough that they know that they're going to be number one seeds for the tournament, and they will avoid Germany, Portugal, France, Spain and Belgium. That is an overwhelming positive. But the performances in the last two games in the section haven't been overwhelming positives. Tonight, England labouring to a draw. Bardi giving the Macedonians a sniff of a famous victory. Harry Kane scoring with his first touch coming off the bench. And that was just about the sum total of the night. But England have got the job done. The qualification campaign doesn't matter now. It's all steam ahead for Germany. It's finished. North Macedonia 1, England 1.
Cool, that was tough. That was tough to witness. But Jim's right. Ultimately, the headline should be England unbeaten in qualifying, unbeaten in 2023, and top seeds at the Euros, as the players go over to the fans who are some distance away from the pitch, because there's a running track around the pitch at this stadium. So the players are some distance from the fans, but the players are all going over en masse to applaud the fans for their support, and a number have travelled over to support England, and they've not been rewarded here tonight. I'm going to let you into a little Talksport secret. Stuart Pearce educated the Talksport England commentary team last night, saying that Macedonia actually means fruit salad in Italian. None of us believed him, but we checked it. It's absolutely true. Well, England played like lemons, and that performance is likely to send you bananas on the sports bar from 10 p.m. tonight. 03717 223344. And it's not sour grapes. Meantime, the referee becomes the first to referee two qualifiers in one day. His first and his last, hopefully. I'm just waiting for a statement from PGMOL thanking tonight's ref, Philip Glover. That's his name, Philip Glover, from Slovakia, for making Premier League refs look absolutely magnificent tonight. I have a policy of not naming referees where I can avoid it. I don't want them to get personal abuse. But this clown here tonight, Philip Glover from Slovakia, made a name for himself. And it's not a nice name. It's not a name I can repeat on national radio. He was so bad, the players actually seemed to visibly lose faith in him halfway through the second half. And Stuart Pearce, we could talk about the referee's performance in a moment, but as the England players make their way down the tunnel, they can't escape some criticism either, and they won't escape it on the sports bar tonight on Talksport. And Gareth Southgate won't escape any criticism as well. These last two performances, with the group already won, it's been a formality really, and we didn't need to be brilliant in these two games, but we were anything but brilliant, and I think it's led to a lot of concern with the Euros next summer, and I think England fans have got every right to be concerned based on those two performances. Just not good enough, not giving us the confidence that we can actually win the Euros.
Yeah, I always put a positive slant on things, you know, but I've got to say alarm bells will be ringing for me in regard to these two games and us not being able to freely break teams down. I think that is an Achilles heel of ours at the moment. I think as a counter-attack team, when teams come onto us, we're not bad. When there's big open spaces, we've got to work out how you break these teams down. Be patient by all means, but I think our build-up from the back line has been a little bit too slow and too dogged and easy to defend.
Yeah, I was really intrigued by something you said in the middle of the second half. Jim was asking you about why it wasn't going well for England, why they weren't making breakthroughs, why they weren't penetrating, disrupting the opponents who, listen, let's face it, both Malta and North Macedonia put men behind the ball. That's going to be difficult. They want a result against England. It's a big one for them. It's a big scalp. And they've got a result tonight. Fair play to them. But you said the word safe, that England were too safe on the ball. It's a word that's been levelled at Gareth Southgate a lot. He's too safe. It's one of the reasons why many of the cynics and sceptics think England won't win a tournament under Gareth Southgate, because he's, that word again, too safe. Is it something that he's got to change within himself, or was that down to the players tonight?
Well, I think when the ball's at Saka's feet and when the ball's certainly at Grealish's feet, Grealish has gone past his man a conservative estimate 8 times. You know, just skip past him. That for me says, give me the ball all night, I'm going after this fella. You know what I mean? I'm going to ruin him this evening. And you know, Saka's gone in there to help get the disallowed goal as well and gone past. But I think we're a little bit too slow and dogged building up from the back into the midfield. And from there, we've also got to play, sometimes mix it up a little bit more. Too short passing, too sideways. For me, every time we play the ball over the top of the opposition, we either regained it for, 40 metres up the pitch, or we got it behind the opposition's back line. I mean, we come away Friday night saying, wow, what a ball that was by Trent, I think it was, over into the space. The one ball that we played was a 40-metre ball in behind the opposition's defence. It's not kick and rush. It's a cultured ball to generate more space in the middle of the pitch if we don't get in with that initial ball.
We've got this pass of the ball in Trent Alexander-Arnold. We both, all of us, want to see him get on the ball, make things happen, make these passes that nobody else can see or execute. But tonight, when he's got the ball, just inside the opponent's half, ball at his feet, he's not only got the England players in front of him, he's got all of the North Macedonia players in front of him. Somebody in front of him has to do something special for him to be able to find them, but there seems to be a little bit of a lack of movement. Am I right in that?
See, what tends to happen, Aid, is this. If you play at the front end of the team and that that ball's not forthcoming and not going in, you might make 1 run, you might make 2 runs. Really outstanding players that are doing it for the team will make 3 runs. Eventually you say, I ain't running in behind, because you ain't even looking for the ball in behind. So sometimes you've got to feed that movement. I think probably Ollie Watkins made as few runs tonight as I've ever seen him. I went and watched him play for Aston Villa. He was galloping into channels, and I would want to see that from him. For him to do that and do it consistently, you've got to supply him with a ball on occasion as well, and say, look, I'm going to reward you for your movement and your work ethic.
Well, listen, England didn't lose. They were losing. There were some very odd decisions from the referee, but they've got themselves a draw here in North Macedonia, came from behind for it, and they're unbeaten in the group. They've qualified, and they're going to be top seeds at the Euros next summer. But has anybody got any confidence that England will win those Euros? You can get your calls in, your reaction on the Sports Bar on Talksport, 03717223344, and there will be reaction from here in Skopje as well. Talksport's Faker Others is down there with the England squad, with the players, with the manager Gareth Southgate. You will hear those interviews, the reaction to this draw here in Skopje very shortly, either on this programme or on the Sports Bar. But what a result tonight for Northern Ireland in Belfast. Denise Watson.
Do Adrian, it's finished Northern Ireland 2, Denmark 0. Both goals in the second half. Shay Charles.